Hello and thanks for joining us for round 2 of the FIM Road Racing Championships. We're coming to you live from Australia in what will be the historical event for the Growing Asian-based championship. We're at the brand new motor complex they call The Bend, an hour east of Adelaide. It's a world-class and international spec circuit, but it looks like it's going to throw up some very interesting racing. I'm Steve Martin, and joining me is a man who knows so much about this championship. In fact, he knows it inside out. Meng Heng, who's been a world superbike racer and finished second a couple of times in the SuperSport category, I believe. I've got to say I'm really pleased to be joined by you here today, and I know that you know so much about the three classes that we're about to see in today's coverage. Of course, we've got the Underbone 150s coming up, there's the Asia Production 250s, and the 600s will finish off the day. But firstly, I want to welcome you to Australia.
Yeah, thanks Steve. You know, it's a great track. You know, I've went around the track this morning, and it's a nice track to ride here, to race here. You know, I think you have been on the track yesterday doing the pillion ride here, so I think it'll be great.
Yeah, what do you think about how it's going to suit? I mean, it's quite a big circuit. It's 4.95 kilometres long. It's got a lot of corners, especially for these Underbone 150s. I mean, if you think back to Buriram in Thailand a couple of weeks or 3 or so weeks ago, it was an amazing race that we had there on such a big circuit. Do you think that these young guys are going to also have a very similar sort of race as what they're having there?
Yeah, I think for this race, this track, I think all the riders, you know, I've spoken to all the riders, and all of them really love this track. And to me, I think definitely this race will gonna be neck to neck. You know, it's gonna be really close, because I can see a lot of them performing really well. You know, the teams are working really hard, and for sure you can see a lot of excitement later on when the race goes on, because for these boys, I think they're gonna be really close later on.
What's it like for these guys? Of course, I mean, like they're used to racing at their home tracks, but they've all come to this circuit, a circuit that nobody's seen before. I mean, they've got to come to basically Australia with a different cultural background, and come to a new track. They've got to travel an hour to the circuit every day, because they're staying in the middle of the city. What's it like living here for these young guys?
I think all of them are used to it, because some of the track, like for instance in India, you know, it's quite similar with this track. So to them, I think traveling is not a problem for them. And I think the only thing is they need to adapt to the track as fast as possible, and give a really good feedback, you know, to the teams, and really how to tune out the bike.
Well, we just had a look at our pole man a second ago, Helmi Asman, and he's leading the championship at the moment. He's got some stiff competition here with Wayu, who sits in the second position after the Super Pole event that was held yesterday. What do you think these two guys are going to come up against on track?
I think for Wayu, this morning in the warm-up, you know, he had a crash this morning, and I think should be, I think, going to be close, like I say, you know, every time this Underbone race. And you can see Haziq there in third place.
Yeah, of course, Haziq, another one. He's had a great start by him on the front row of the grid. He's had a reasonably clean weekend as well, and it seems that he's a quick learner, learning this track rather quickly.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays all these Underbone riders, they have been riding a couple of new tracks, you know, not only in Australia but back home in Asia. They're ridden in Suzuka, you know, a lot of track in India, Indonesia, and I think for them to ride this track, and like I say, they have to learn and adapt to the track as fast as possible.
Kyle Paz had a good qualifying as well from the UMA Racing Yamaha Maju Motor team, qualifying on the second row of the grid at a 2:19.8. To put it into perspective, it was about a 2:18.8 that Asman did on pole. Helmi Asman put on pole position, so a good result for him. Is that also a great qualifying position for him? He starts from 5th position on the grid on his Yamaha, and I guess there are a couple of major brands with these bikes out there. There's Yamaha and Honda, and there's always the battle between the two motorcycles, the two bikes. Which one do you think is going to suit this circuit, and what are the strengths of the bikes?
I think both the Yamahas and the Hondas, they are quite equal now, you know, and looking at the lap times, and of course they're gonna be close. And this is a race that where you need to use a lot of brain to race. You gotta stay on, maintain on your bike, and finish the race, take the checker flag. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess in your racing career, I mean, the Underbones, it seems to be the place where all the younger riders start and they work their way through the field. But, I mean, have you experienced the Underbone racing yourself?
Yeah, there you can see Travis Hall,
the young Australian, of course. Yeah, it's good to see Travis Hall out there. Another young guy, Lockie Taylor, as well, was entered in the Underbones. But Travis Hall, a brilliant qualifying by him to put himself up on the grid. So, as you can see, the grid clearing at the moment as we get ready for the warm-up lap of the first ever Underbone race. Held.
Effendi Rosley there on his Yamaha.
Yeah, Fenley, of course, he's a good young racer as well.
He's not young anymore.
How old is he now?
He's quite a veteran in this class, Effendi Rosley.
It's true that these guys, some of them start in the Underbone class, but they don't really like to move on. They're happy in the Underbone
I mean,
class.
because some of them really want to move up on a bigger class, but some of them, they know that moving up to a bigger class will be a bit risk there, to learn the bikes, to learn everything there, to accept a new team, or all this.
How hard is it for these young guys and the guys in the Underbones to get to places to practice? Obviously, when you're learning your trade, you need to find a racetrack. Do they all live near tracks?
Yeah. I mean, like in Malaysia, we have all these races. We have 10 races, national races. Back home in Malaysia.
How many tracks are there in Malaysia?
Normally, we do this Underbone race at a public road.
Oh,
yeah, they close the roads. They race there. And, of course, they did some testing and riding some of their permanent track in back home in Malaysia.
Yeah, okay, that's good to see. It's a massive field here, of course, of Underbones that have made their way down under. 6 rows full of riders out there as the grid is cleared, and they will head out on the warm-up track. New for this year is some technical modifications as well.
I think the regulations still maintain the same for this year.
Yeah, but with the tyre-wise...
tyre-wise, definitely a big change there. They are using slicks now.
Yeah, so they've got Moto 3 technology slicks here.
Technology there.
And what are the riders saying about that?
Of course, the bike definitely getting faster now, and of course, all this they have slicks on, and the times. Yeah, you can see the times on your screen now.
Yeah, of course, Helmi Asman heads up pole position with Woyo Trikusana in second, and Hakiz in third position. So that's your row 1 with Kyle Paz starting from row 2. Zaidi, is that Zaidi on the number 98 machine? You've got to keep an eye out for him. Amaral, of course, number 63, and row 3 with Adib Rosley, and Travis Hall starts from that position as well. Ayman Azman from row 4. Sharul Amin on the 199 machine, keep an eye out for him. Gupta Kresna Wadana from the 23 bike, and Ahadan Fazil Shamt starts on row 5. Haikal Akmal and Nguyen Van Tuan in 15th position. So there's a massive grid of bikes as they head out on this 7th lap race. The first time that these bikes have ever taken to a track anywhere in Australia. We don't have anything like this. It's really crazy. And I tell you, the crowd have come from far and wide to find out what this Underbone 150 racing is all about. I know that they've had different capacities in the past, but 150 is the flavour of the day at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, like back home in Malaysia, this model of bike, motorcycle, we used to, take the kids to school, we go to markets, all this stuff, But I mean, to use it and make it a racing machine, so there's a lot of work there.
Yeah, how modified are they? I mean, what can you change, and how long does it take to modify one?
It takes like maybe you got to do a lot of R&D now, because you have quick shifter on the bike now.
Quick shifters.
Yeah, quick shifters, and now they are using slicks, and I can see the slick tires. Some of them are choosing, they can choose from medium to hard. They have 2 compound
Have you got any feedback on what you think they might be using in the race?
Yeah, I think most of them are using a front, medium, and a rear hard.
Okay, so that's with the Dunlop.
The Dunlop tyres, yes.
And have they had any wear issues with the tyres on these little bikes?
At the moment, for the Underbone, I don't think they have any big issue regarding the tyres.
So, in your mind, who do we need to keep an eye on? Who's going to be there at the end of the race? I know it's always a difficult question.
Normally, I will have an eye. I'll keep an eye on like a YU. You know, there are a couple of guys inside there: Izzat Zaidi, Amirul Musa, and even Effendi Rosli, Helmi Azman. You know, all of them capable of winning the race. So
what you're saying is the top 10 can win?
Yeah, top 10. You know, so it's going to be really close.
Of course, just on our screen there is Helmi Azman on the yellow machine as he pulls up to the grid. Helmi Azman, of course, our pole man there.
In this race, is the most important thing is the slipstreaming.
Yeah.
If you don't have slipstreaming, you lost. You know, you don't get the slipstreaming. That's when you lose out.
Yeah, I mean the length of this circuit as well is so long. That straight, there's plenty of opportunity for that as they line up for the start. The boys are there. The bit of debris at the back. The green flag is being waved.
Drop the flag there.
Absolutely. Not what they needed to do. The red flag, Sammy Phillips is walking off. We're getting ready for a start of the first ever 150 Underbone race coming from Australia. And they're off. And it's with a perfect start. They head down the long front straight here, and already it looks like they're going into slipstream mode. Just because he got a great start doesn't mean he's going to lead into turn 1 here at the bend.
Yeah, you can see YU RG now in the lead. No, it looks like Helmi back in front.
Yeah, I can't believe how aggressive they already are. I mean, that's the thing with these guys. They're just such aggressive riders, but they're all through the first couple of turns. We've got a faller.
I think that is looks like Akid Aziz there. One of the top 3 riders in the championship.
Oh no, that's definitely not what he needed to do then, is it?
Akid Aziz there, and a big crash there.
Akid Aziz is out of this one, unfortunately, but it's the number 32, Helmi Azman, who leads from the front at the moment as he heads into the hairpin for the first time. Remembering this is the first racing laps done on these 150 Underbones.
It looks like the Honda got a bit of upper hand on this track, but at the moment, later, I mean, you can see after 1 or 2 laps, then you see the guys that really can win the race, they will bunch up together.
Yeah, so it's like in the first part of this race, they spread out a little bit as the nerves settle down, and then they all bunch up together. I'm sure when we get round to the straights, it's definitely going to bunch up. We got someone off on the inside there. But at the moment, we've got Helmi Azman, who leads the race. Sharul in second position, Wayu in third, and it's Cole Paz in 4th with Effendi Rosali in 5th position at the moment. So apart from that small off earlier on with Hazik, it was a pretty clean start. Probably some of the cleanest you've seen.
Yeah, I think that's a clean start, except for the crash that Akid has.
Yeah.
It looks like I think still Helmi still in front.
Is Helmi the sort of guy that if anybody can pull away and get a bit of a gap, is he the guy?
But I don't think so, these Underbone races, because he's going to be really packed later on, you know.
So you're saying that instead of having a 7-lap race, what we need to do is just have a one lap show. Yeah, you can see there.
All spread up, yeah.
Kyle Paz up in the second on the 1-2-3 machine now on his Yamaha. Right, sitting in behind Helmi Azman, just taking the slipstream effect on the 1-2-3 machine, but it's neck and neck as they head into turn 1. Who will be the bravest on the brakes? And it's Azman who makes the most of it again.
Yeah, there's Helmi Azman been riding for 2 years since started on the 150. So he has a lot of experience. I think the guy behind McKinley, you know, he's from Philippines. I think this is the first race that he raced for this Underbone category. He's doing really well now at the moment.
Yeah, I saw.
He's leading now.
Yeah,
from Philippines.
Yeah, he's doing a great race. And out of the different nationalities that race in this class, who is it that's the strongest in your opinion?
I think will be Malaysia and Indonesia.
Yeah, is that basically because we've got another faller there? That's one. I think is that number 19.
Sharo Amin.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, Sharo Amin crashed out there.
Sharo Amin has gone down. That's unfortunate for him, but it looks like he's rejoined, so good to see. Lap time wise, we've got 2:22.9 by Helmi Asman, who set the fastest lap of the race. So because it's the first time that these bikes have been here, he's already set a new lap record. You like that, don't you? No, very good to see. 6 laps to go in this class. It's starting to tighten up through the mid-pack now as they head through. Oh, a couple down.
Crash. I think that is Effendi Rosley, I think.
Rosley's gone down.
Effendi Rosley went down with maybe Fakrusi.
Yeah, that's not good for Effendi Rosley. Of course, he sits second in the third in the championship at the moment, so that's not a good start for the weekend for him. But that has left McKinley Cole Paz and Helmi Asman left them with a little bit of space out the front. They've got a 1.2 second lead over the rest of the pack now.
Yeah, it looks like the two of them pulling away now.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit unexpected to see as we look at Adib Rosley there on the red machine, on the red Yamaha, just leading this group onto the straight, into 2 groups now. There's that fallen rider. Let's see what happens there. Yeah, goes in, loses the front, and unfortunately the second rider got caught up in that as well. So 2 men went down, unfortunately.
I think correction just now. I think it's not Akid Aziz that crashed just now. It was Mohammad Hazik.
Hazik's gone down.
Hazik is the one who crashed.
Hazik's gone down.
Yeah, you can see Akid is still there.
Yeah. So the crashes, the people that have crashed so far, Effendi Rosley, he's definitely gone down. Gupta Kresna has crashed as well. Sharul Amin crashed but has rejoined at T13, so Kresna's back out, Gupta Kresna's back out on track, and Sharul Amin has crashed, and Hazik has gone down. So we've had a few crashes in a couple of laps already.
Yeah, I think this track a bit, what do you think of this track? Is it slippery for this?
Well, the thing is because it's a brand new circuit, and it's only really had it's had 1 car race on it, and also the Australian Superbike Championship, which we saw earlier on. The problem is that the bitumen, the asphalt, is still very, very new. If you get offline a little bit, you get into the dirty tarmac and the grip changes, and you can go down. So you really do have to stay online, which probably doesn't suit these races. But you can see there that massive group, Kyle Paz involved in that at the moment. Look at the dust there.
Yeah, you can see the dust there.
And just the nature of these bikes, they always want to be offline. Up the inside, what a great ride there as they flip through into turn 15, the long left-hander, and then change of direction. Good change of direction there by our leader.
That is Wayu Haji Laksana.
Yeah, so Wayu's taking the...
There's Effendi back in the pit now.
Yeah, he's back in the pits.
Repairs on the bike.
Yeah, it's not much point for him to get back out. The only thing that he can do, though, if they straighten that handlebar out, he can get out there and get his confidence back for the races tomorrow. So he's out there once again as they get over the line. It's Wayu who keeps the lead with Kyle Paz in second, then Helmi Asman in third, Zaidi in fourth position. Yeah. So Wayu is still leading as they head into turn 1, but will it stay that way?
Yeah, I think these 5 guys will nice for the win here.
How desperate do you think they're going to get on that last lap?
See the last lap. Always the last lap, and even the last corner you can see,
So in this group, in your mind, who has got the most experience?
I think to me is Wayu Aji is the one who have the most experience, bike number 60. Wayu Aji
number 60.
Yeah.
As they head into the tight hairpin again, but around the outside goes Helmi Asman. Good move by him to take the lead. Not that it matters so much at the moment because we've still got quite a way to go. 4 laps to go around here on these Underbone 150s. There's quite a long. Look how close they are. That is very, very close. No quarter given. So they head in there. Flick over to the left. And once again that group 1,
2, 3, 4, 5 guys now with a bit of a decent lead at 3.6 seconds ahead of a kid, who's in 6th position. So a pretty decent battle for the guys in front. Is there anyone in this group that missed out, because there was quite a few crashes in Buriram? Is there anyone that really needs to finish here?
Yeah, I mean, like we have Fakrusi, you know, he's capable of winning. Even Effendi Rosli, Gupita, you know, and of course Hazik, the one who crashed earlier. All of them are good chance of winning the race.
Yeah, okay. And is it normal for the guy that ends up winning the championship to actually be a front runner all the way through, or is it just like one weekend one guy's winning, the next weekend another guy's winning?
Yeah,
race by race.
normally these underbone races are really close, so sometimes it's very hard to predict who's going to win.
Yeah, well, leading at the moment, it's
it's McKinley, I think. Helmi Asman is second.
Yeah, and Wayu Aji Trilaksana in 3rd position as they head over the line again, using that slipstream effect. What sort of top speed? They're getting just on 160 kilometres an hour, the top guys here.
Top speed.
There's nothing in it either between either the Honda or the Yamaha. They're pretty much on par with each other, aren't they? Which is good to see. How much horsepower do these little bikes
I
make?
think this bike is about maybe 26, 27 horsepower.
Wow, 26 horsepower.
Yeah.
And I mean, with the suspension, did they modify the suspension?
Okay, all using Olin's.
Olin's. I guess that's not a genuine part, is it?
But I think Olin have come and helped this underbone category a lot.
Yeah, so I guess the professionalism, when you just take a look in the pit boxes down there, how professional the teams are, it's pretty amazing what they do. There's Ahmed Azman, of course, there, and the number 98 is that Zaidi involved in that group as well.
It looks like Wayu now trying to make a move, you know, and he's the rider that I say always gotta concentrate on.
Big moment there. Was that McKinley Paz? And he just pushed a little bit too hard.
The front too much, I think.
Yeah, it seems that when these tyres let go,
he just bounced back.
You don't get a lot of warning, but hand off there.
Oh, I think he crashed just now, so I think
just holding it all together, holding all the bits on you. You can see the panel on the left-hand side of his machine there. That's, of course, Adib Rosley just trying to hold his bike together and get it back to the pits if he can.
I think he will try to continue the race.
Yeah, I guess so, because there's definitely points at hand, and he can always put a new panel on when he gets back into the pits, can't he? As they head down once again, hard on the brakes. Helmi has been lost out then, and he's moved back, but good inside line there. Kyle Pad is back into 2nd position, and nice move there by, I think that's Wayu who's taking the lead.
Yeah, you can see Wayu now is doing his homework now, is looking at the riders, where their weaknesses, you know.
What about the run to the line here with 2 laps to go? Do you think if you're leading out of the final corner at a track like this, you can make it to the finish flag, or do you think there's enough room to slip?
I think the best, to me, I think the best place to stay at the last corner is to come out second. You get the slipstream, or even third. You get the slipstream, then definitely you will. Chances of winning is very high.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I think you gotta keep an eye on Wayu. I think that's what he's gonna do, you know. He's gonna let the boys go in front, then from there, on the last corner, then he will slipstreaming and all that.
So at the moment that group is just breaking up a little bit with Helmi Azman, Wayu in 2nd, and Kyle Paz, McKinley of course there in 3rd, with about a 2nd gap or half a 2nd gap back to Ayman Azman. Is that Zaidi? Zaidi, of course, 3rd in the championship at the moment. He needs to get a good result here. Look how tight they are. But I'm sure nearly is just something. I'm sure they will end up touching each other very shortly, perhaps on the last lap.
Definitely everything going to happen the last lap.
They have to be really careful though, don't they? They have to ride sportsmanlike. They have to be very ride within the rules, otherwise they'll get penalised.
Yeah, I mean, like all the stewards will, you know, have the eyes will keep an eye on them, you know, whether the elbows coming up, the legs coming out, and all that.
Yeah, it's all looking pretty clean at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment.
That's one thing that we've learned about this circuit, as they just about complete their second lap to go, 2 laps to go. One thing we've learned about this circuit is to do fast laps, you need to be pretty smooth. So it's contradictory to the way that these guys ride.
Yeah.
Head down the hill again into the hard braking area up the inside. Helmi Asman is just knocked out once again. That's YU who takes the lead with the Helmi Asman in the yellow Honda, of course.
Hey, here we go, last lap.
Now things are going to get serious, yeah?
Yeah, we're getting serious now.
Carl Paz takes the wide line out to the left as they head on to the last lap. It's a big group now. The group, as you said, Meng Heng, that has tightened right up. The 5 are all together. There's less than a second covering them now as they head into the final turn, tucked in under the screen, hard on the brakes. It is Helmi Asman who leads into turn 1 for the final time today here at the tail and bend. He's got a little bit of a lead, but we don't expect that to last.
Nah, they're going to come back to him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We need to keep an eye on Ayman. Ayman also, he got a speed on the machine there.
So Ayman, keep an eye on him. He's on the number 39 Honda, of course. The Hondas have been strong. And yeah, there's 5 different lines there as they head into the hairpin. This is always a good overtaking opportunity. And who will break the latest?
Oh, it looked like Izzat. Izzat is in front now from 5th to 1st.
There you go, that's a nice little move, one that you don't see very often. But he just ran a little bit wide there, which allowed Carl Paz back towards the front. Helmi Asman doesn't even use the track to get past there.
Oh,
and, absolutely, we went pillion bike riding the other day, and it looks like they're doing it right now, out on track. About 2.5 kilometres to go before we know who will be our first Underbone winner here at the tail and bend. But it's once again Helmi Asman, Mohammed Helmi Asman, who's got the lead. As they head on to that little back straight where you don't get much time to rest here, you just got to tuck in and hope that nobody nips past you into turn 14. And YU tries there but can't do it. Nice tight line as they head into 13.
Yeah, you can see YU now is keeping himself second.
Yeah, deliberately.
Yeah, deliberately to, you know.
What about the other guys though? Surely they'll be attacking him.
Yeah, for sure. And then you'll see on the checker flag. Hope that they don't flag noise.
It's Kyle Paz on the outside. Helmi Asman there as they head in. It's 3 wide as they head into the braking area. Yeah, he's backed off deliberately.
He's backed up, yeah.
Oh, Kyle Paz has run off. That's bad news for him, but now it means it's down to these 3. YU goes through on the inside. What a move. He's pulled it off. Has he got a bit of touching there? Who's going to get this one? I don't know. But keep an eye on McKinley.
Izzat is there.
Izzat's got through. Who is it?
Izzat, Helmi. YU's there.
What a race.
Yeah.
Izzat Zaidi takes the win. What an incredible ride from him. We didn't mention him too much, but it's what he needed to do because it's really going to help him. He's second in the championship now, but those points will really help him. And I think he rode the smartest race.
Yeah, smart race. Like I said, just now he was from 5th, and after 2 corners, he became the leader. And just now he was 5th again, and he won the race. Yeah,
it was a pretty incredible ride by him, and in fact he rode a smart race because he stayed way out of trouble for the whole time. You can see Adib Rosalie there just crossing the line with his fairing hanging off in 8th position. Not where he wanted to be, but you know, he did do a good job. Travis Hall, the Australian, finished in 9th as well, so good for him. But it's all about this man here, Izzat Zaidi on his RCB Yamaha YY Pang racing machine, and what a ride.
Always close, but this is normally it's 5. I mean, normally it will be like 9 or 10 bikes.
9 or 10. Well, luckily we've got some more Underbone racing to come, haven't we? Not today, but tomorrow the Underbones will be back on track. But I'm sure that they enjoyed that first taste of some of them Australian soil, because a lot of the guys went down. We had 4 or 5 crashes in that one.
Yeah, I think all those crashes like Fakrusi, FND. All of them are capable of winning races.
Absolutely. So I guess that if they can get it all together tomorrow for the race that's coming up in our coverage tomorrow, I think that we're going to have another group of 9 or 10. So there are your results, of course. Izzat Zaidi wins that one from Helmi Asman, who we thought would be the man. Wayu Triliksana, of course, takes third position. That's a good result for him. Ayman Asman in fourth position. Akid Aziz, really good for him. It could have been Kyle Paz McKinley that won that one.
He went off.
But probably 100 or 200 metres from the end, it all ended up for him. What a massive field. 16 bikes took to the grid, 4 non-finishers. The final finisher was Amrul Arif Musa. So unfortunately for 4 or 5 of the guys, there's a little bit of work to do tonight to burn the midnight oil to get those bikes sorted. How excited do these guys get when they win one of these races?
I think all the team will be excited. You can see shouting now back in there. You can hear from here, from the commentary box here.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? It's a pretty exciting way to spend your first race day in Australia.
Yeah, and I mean, brand new track, win the race here.
Absolutely.
What more you want from it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Number one. So as the teams now congratulate their riders, it's a good time for them all to reflect. Some will have some fairings to replace for tomorrow's races, but these guys...
Yeah, I think because just now Wayu and Helmi, both of them, I think they nearly hit each other. This one, they lost a bit of speed there.
Yeah.
So that's why Izzat from behind is slipstreaming, then just past them on
as
like that.
Izzat went through and said, "Thank you very much, guys." Yeah, so it's a very good result for him, of course, and he gets that result. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head down to Ling. She's with Wayu.
Okay, Wayu, congratulations, finishing third in our first race in Australia. However, not an easy one.
Yeah, the first I come Australia, I'm feeling good because this is circuit is my character. In the race one, I already try my best, but in the last corner it's difficult for me. And then Alhamdulillah, I get the 3 podium. I have the thanks to my team because we good work. Tomorrow I will try be better for this.
All right, thank you so much. While you're coming in second place today is Muhammad Helmi Asman. So Helmi, we see that you were leading throughout the race. Share with us, what was your strategy going towards the last lap and what happened?
Yeah, firstly, I want to thank to my team, SCK Rapido High Ref, Honda Racing, because give me the bike very good this race. So yes, the today race, I very fight with another rider, and also Wayu. He always push me from behind, but I don't think about him. I try to always try to my way. But in the last lap, in the second last corner, me already the leading the race, but in last corner, why you hit me from inside? But I want to win this race, but I cannot happy this race.
Thank you so much, Helmi, and coming in first in our very first race in Australia, Muhammad Izzat Zaidi. Izzat, congratulations, making history, being the first Underbone winner here at round 2 Australia. Share with us, how was the race?
Firstly, I want to thank you to my team, RCB, Yamaha, Waipang, dan terima kasih kepada ACPW, Pawan yang jaga fitness saya. Di race tadi, di second corner ada satu pelanggaran dan saya agak ketinggalan dan saya kejar di guru hadapan dan berjaya, dan di second last ada fighting antara Wayu dengan Helmi dan saya ambil kesempatan itu untuk memotongnya di straight road.
Alright, thank you so much, Izzat. And guys, stay tuned for the podium ceremony.
Well, that was a good result down there. Great to see our winner, Izzat Zaidi, there. And I've got to say, he also got the fastest lap of the race on the final lap. Yeah. So it was pretty impressive stuff for him to be able to do that. I mean, that was a pretty good race, especially for the championship for Izzat Zaidi. Helmi Asman probably a little bit disappointed, but let's have a look at the recap of the race for the first race ever of the Underbone 150s here in Australia. It was a great start for the number 32 machine of Helmi Asman, but it didn't last long out the front because there was a whole group of Underbone 150 riders that wanted to get up there behind him and slipstream him into turn 1. And it was Wayu on the Yamaha, of course, that thought he was there. Cole Paz wanted to have a little bit of it too, but it was Helmi Asman that led into turn 1.
Then you can see, I think the crash happened here. I think then somebody, they touched.
Yeah, there was a couple of guys that went down on that one.
Yeah,
so
I think that is our mistake there. Instead of Haziq.
Haziq went down there. Yeah, that was unfortunate for him to do that. But meanwhile, at the front, there was still a big group of riders that were in for this. It did spread out a little bit, and I thought it was all over. But you told me, no, it wasn't, because these guys save it all up to the last lap.
Because they're going to be really close, especially all these Underbone races. So, like I say, normally it will be 9 or 10 bikes.
Kyle Paz McKinley was very impressive, but this moment changed the race because a lot of the riders went down that were high up in the championship.
I reckon after the crash, then they split into 2 groups.
Yeah, which was definitely a big help to that front group, because you can see now that a lot of riders that would have been in that final group ended up knocked back. But that didn't stop the close racing, because towards the end, with 3 laps to go, it got very, very close. Wayu looked like a favourite at that point, but Cole Paz wasn't backing off. There's less than a bike length between those 3 riders.
5 riders, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right too.
You can see then, you can see Izzat is right, only 4th that time. You see, he had a gap there.
Yeah, I mean, Izzat at that point of the race, you would think, well, there's no way that he's going to get through, but then this happened. We headed on down the straight. Cole Paz took the lead, and it looked like he was going to be the man that could win the race. But once again, the lead had already changed by the time we got to the final lap.
Yeah, then you can see from here, Izzat is right behind on 5th there.
Yeah, he certainly wound up the wick, did Izzat, as he got really involved in the battle. Helmi Asman just went right up the inside, and Wayu gave him no room. In fact, nobody gave anybody any room. But still nice clean racing, and then it came to this corner, and Cole Paz decided to go bush and destroy his day.
The touching there, both the riders.
Yep, and
Izzat there.
Izzat says, Izzat Zaidi crosses the line first and says, you know what, thank you very much, guys. You can shake hands any day you like before the end of the race. So that was your Underbone 150 Championship race, and they say that winners are grinners, and there's certainly a lot of grinners in that group. So that was a good way. And there's the Australian crowd in the back of their utes and that. They've all come out to watch the Asian Road Race Championship.
I always like to see Australian spectators.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely a breed of their own. They come out, they bring their esky, which is like a cool box in the background there, full of all sorts of treats and things. They sit on the back of their utes and like they're sitting.
A couple of cold beers.
Cold beers, yes, and then they come out. But I want to tell you, obviously I'm an Australian, and when I get out and about, the buzz wherever I go in Adelaide, which is a big city.
I think we are going to the podium now.
Okay, let's head down to the podium.
Really?
Let's throw down to the link for the podium, please.
This is the podium ceremony for the Underbone 150cc Race 1 here at the FIM Asia Road Racing Championship Round 2 at the Bend Motorsport Park, Adelaide, Australia. Coming in 3rd place today from Yamaha Racing Indonesia, Wayu Aji Trilaksana. Coming in 2nd place today from SCK Rapido High Rev Honda Racing Team, Muhammad Helmi Asman. And today's Underbone 150cc Race 1 winner from RCB Yamaha YY Pang Racing, Muhammad Izzat Zaidi. And today's team award goes to RCB Yamaha YY Pang Racing. And we will now stand for the National Anthem of Malaysia. Minister for Trade, Tourism and Investment to present the riders with their trophy. Coming in third place today from Indonesia, Wahyu Aji Trilaksana. And in second place from Malaysia, Muhammad Helmi Asman.
It's good to see those guys up there.
And
They've really earned their
race one winner
place on the podium
from
today.
Malaysia, Muhammad Izzat Zaidi.
It's definitely not an easy thing to do to get up on the podium in one of these Underbone races.
To RCB Yamaha YY Pang
Izzat Zaidi, Helmi Asman,
and
Wahyu. What a job they did, and of course
we'll have a quick
all of those guys
photo.
are prominent in the championship, and there you can see the podium. And the team award, of course, goes to RCB Yamaha.
Yeah, RCB Yamaha.
Thank you to Honorary David Ridgway, and once again, congratulations to all three podium finishers.
YY Pang.
Pang Yuk Yu.
Yep, okay.
So I think he let his. I think he's very happy, you know, he'll be there.
So he's not here this weekend. I'm sure that he's watching the telecast, and we wish him all the best. So it's really good to see that people from all around the world are watching these guys up on the podium there with their trophies. The first one's ever given out to the Asian Road Racing Championship.
Yeah, first time.
So it's really, really good to see. Okay, there are your standings. Of course, Zaidi still leaves the championship with 58 points. Helmi Asman with 56 points, so it's pretty close at the top. Wahyu Trilaksana on 36 points with some work to do. Then Amaral Arif Musa on 31 points. Effendi Rossali in 5th position. Shairul Amin, of course, down at 6. Haidar Akamal with 25 points from Malaysia. And Akid Aziz as well down there in 8th position. And Ahmed Fazil Sham in 9th position, and Ayman Aizman in 10th position. Of course, the rest of the field have also got so many points to go. But for now, we are going to head to a commercial, and we will be back with the Asia Production 250 class. And believe you me, if you thought the Underbones were fun, this is going to be even better.
Even better.
So for now, stay in your chair, make sure that you come back and join us, because we will be heading for a commercial, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes with more action here with the Asian Road Racing Championships from the Bend Round 2.
Yeah, I'm down here at the podium, back again with Honorary David Ridgway. So, of course, the tourism and trade has supported the championship coming here, and looks like so far everything is going rather smoothly and successful. So, what are your thoughts on the event?
Look, it's a great event. You know, it's the first time really we've used this track. It's a wonderful track. It's beautiful weather. You know, the Shaheen family that have built the track, we really congratulate them for what they've done. All the team at the Bend have put on, you know, a great event. The riders like it. It's a beautiful day. It's been a wonderful start.
All right, so overall, what are your hopes for future events here?
We hope we can have a range of future events, and especially the motorcycles. Now, they're really exciting as the venue develops and the landscaping is complete. I'm sure this will be a really popular track, not only the riders but for the spectators and tourists to come to Australia as well.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Ridgway, and enjoy the rest of your weekend here at the Bend.
Thank you very much.
Well, we've just heard from the Minister, which is good to see. It's great to have government people come here to the event to see how it's all panning out. But now, you know what? Let's find out a little bit more about the Bend, and let's hear from Sam Shaheen, the guy that actually built this circuit, the guy that owns the circuit. Ling caught up with him.
By now you have watched the ARRC bikes out on track at the Bend Motorsport Park. The ARRC is the first international bike race to be held at this brand new circuit. So we thought that we should take you behind the scenes to meet the man behind the Bend Motorsport Park, Dr. Sam Shaheen.
Well, we were inspired at participating at the highest level of motorsport at all levels. And the vision started some time ago, almost 10 years ago, and we had to wait for the right facility, in the right area that can cope with all disciplines of motorsport, from 2 wheels to 4 wheels to drag racing to off-road rally to four-wheel driving, and to have a hotel on site. It's been a mammoth task, but the drive is just to participate, to have a facility here in Australia that is as good as any other facility in the world. Now, that was the first thing we had to work out, what character we wanted in this facility. And it was quite simple. We wanted a fast, flowing circuit that is quite technical, that will reward the better drivers. So, and given the length of the track at 4.9 kilometers, there's plenty of room for those better drivers to really impress themselves on the rest of the field. So I hope the testimony of the riders will concur with that, but it really is an absolute highlight reel. The circuit is an absolute highlight reel. You drive it, and I drove it for the first time in anger only last week, and it is a highlight reel. It's just epic. Wherever you drive, every corner is technical. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. This entire facility is built on the premise of attracting new events to Australia, and the interest has been terrific so far. We're in talks with several international vendors for new events to Australia, which is very pleasing. The intention was never to reshuffle the pot and just to move events around Australia, but to attract new events to Australia. I'm just so proud that Asia Road Racing is here with Australian Superbikes. I mean, this is it gives me no end of pleasure to see new faces here in Australia that are experiencing this wonderful part of the world, and hopefully we in time will reciprocate and just visit the other parts of the world that are just as beautiful. So it's a win-win for everybody. Hopefully we will see many more new events, international events here at the Bend in the very short term. In the meantime, I'm just so thrilled to have Asia Road Racing.
It's really good to hear from Sam Shaheen there. It was fantastic to have somebody with so much passion that wants to, and so much cash. Yeah. Passion's a nicer way to say cash, but to be honest, the effort that he's put in, it's not only going to help himself, but it's going to help the whole of the area, the whole of South Australia. So it's seriously an awesome event and an awesome venue that has been built into this brand new complex here.
I think definitely later on you guys are going to have a lot of hotels here.
let's turn our attention now to the FIM Asia Road Racing Championship Underbone 150 Championship. 250, sorry. 250s. So Anupab Samoon, 36 points. Muklada Saparek, 31 points for her. And it was a pretty impressive result for her as well. And what do you think about the results from the last time out?
Race, I was there. Muklada, she rode really well. So she rode like a guy. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you know that.
Like normally when we see a girl riding, you can see the style different.
Do you know what though? I want to say that obviously I'm also involved with the Australian Superbike Championship, which is in conjunction here this weekend, which is a fantastic thing to have both championships together. We also have some very fast female riders, and I tell you, they are so fast. And Muklada looks like one of those the riders that could definitely challenge for victory, if not championship, throughout the year. She unfortunately in qualifying here yesterday had a bit of a problem. She lost, it looked like she lost her chain, so she didn't get to really show what she could do, and so she qualified down a little bit at the moment. But previously in the Asia 250 Production Championship on the teams front, because the teams are always a big part of it, it's the Thailand Yamaha crew that are leading coming into here, and the championship leader is Anupab Samoon on 36 points, so it's really good to see him. Also Rafid Topan you better say that name, but
Rafid Topan.
Yeah, Rafid Topan is also got a good result. He ended up with a third position last time out at Buriram, and puts himself in a great position in the championship. And also Pirapong did a good job as well on his Thailand racing team Yamaha. So it seems that at the last time out, the Yamahas were definitely dominant, although Muklada on her Honda was able to mix it up with them.
Yeah, I win the race. Muklada won the second race, and of course, in the first race she was I think second in Thailand, but she was penalized. So I think that's why she in the first race she got penalized because of the track exit the track limit.
Yeah, track limits.
Yeah, that's why she was penalised there. And,
of course, yeah, track limits is a big issue at Buriram. It's really easy to run off the track there.
But looking at this track, I don't think there will be any.
No.
I don't think you have any advantage. I think if you went off, you go straight onto the grass.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can't do that here. But Buriram's another story. Anyway, let's head down to Willing. She's in the pits with some of our riders.
Okay guys, I'm on the AP 250 grid right now, and in the second row, starting from 4th place, is Rafid Topan. So Rafid, of course, throughout the season so far, you've been always hinting with the front group. How are you looking forward to the first race in Australia?
I just looking in Australia for get the podium, because many bike pass in Australia, and then I try for get the best in this round.
Okay, thank you so much, Rafid Topan. Good luck for race 1. And 5th on the grid today is our current championship leader, Anupab Samoon. So Anupab, you haven't been quickest so far throughout the practice and also qualifying, but of course during the race you are always a strong fighter. How are you looking forward to your first race?
Yes, first time we ride in circuit. That some not enough ride and not enough time setting in my bike. Yes, everything okay. By more good from yesterday. Today I don't worry. I try 100%. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Anupab. Good luck for your first race. And starting from 6th on the grid, in his best qualifying so far from Yamaha Racing Indonesia, we have young rookie M. Fairozi. So this is your best grid position and our first time racing here in Australia. How are you looking forward to the first race?
I'm very good this race one. I'm very enjoy, and untuk Merah Putih semakin di depan. Gaspol.
Thank you so much and good luck for your first race. Okay, so that's it from me on the grid. Back to you guys in the studio.
It's really good to see those guys down there on the grid. It was a very interesting third row. Of course, I mean, our championship leader starts from the third row, so work to do.
Yeah, I mean, normally this 250, I mean, they are quite similar with the Underbones. Even though you start from the second or third row, I think once you start the race, you definitely will be bunched up again. Then, of course, we gotta keep an eye on Anupat Samun. You know, I always like to see the Thai riders. You know, he definitely will ride until the wheels come out. He will slide everywhere. So he's another rider to watch out. The Thai riders, and of course Rafiq Topan Suchipto.
Let's head back down to Huling with some more riders.
And down here on the grid with Andy Muhammad Fadli. Andy, how are you adjusting to the brand new circuit here at the bend?
Yeah, the circuit is very good, and I'm like it. But now is second race for my new Ninja. But I do my best for this race.
All right, thank you so much, Fadli. And then we are gonna move to Muklada, who's starting all the way down at 9th position on the grid. So not really a front start for Muklada. So Muklada, yesterday you obviously had some issues in qualifying, but today during warm-up, is everything back to 100% for you and your bike?
ก็สำหรับวันนี้เต็มที่ค่ะแล้วก็ 100% แล้วนะคะเมื่อวานมีความผิดพลาดเล็กน้อยแต่ว่าไม่เป็นไรทางทีมงานก็แก้ไขนะคะแก้ไขได้อย่างเต็มที่สำหรับวันนี้ตัวมุกเองแล้วก็ทางทีมเองเนี่ยแน่นอนเราตั้งเป้าไว้ค่อนข้างที่จะสูงนะคะก็หวังว่าจะได้โพเดียมไปฝากคนไทยทุกๆคนนะคะ
For the issue yesterday we leave it behind, and today we try to focus on the race, and we have target on the top step of podium.
Thank you so much, Muklada, and good luck for race 1.
You've got to say that Muklada is definitely a tough customer, isn't she?
Definitely. She's going to be a very tough customer.
She had problems yesterday, but she's putting that behind her, and she's going to get out there and do the best job that she can in this race. We've just got Pirapung Bunlet from the Yamaha Thailand Racing Team there in front of us on the grid. Well, you can see the afternoon sun shining down here at Tail and Bend. There's a little bit of wind picking up as well. Does the wind affect these little 250s?
No, I think they will affect a bit on these 250s. There you can see Riza Danika Aarons on pole position with 2:08 flat. I think nearly flat.
It's always disappointing to do 2:08.0.
Yeah,
2:07.
Always aiming for 2:07 or something.
But it was a great result for him. I don't
you look at this Mario Suyo Aji. He's a really small size.
How old is he? Do you know how old he is?
I think he's 14, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I talked to him that day. He was really short. You know, I was asking him, how do you, the leg not long enough.
For the people that aren't familiar with these machines, with the AP 250s, how different are they to the production bikes?
I think they're same as the production bikes.
So it's a fairly standard machine.
Fairly standard machine. Yeah, everything is standard. Normal, the camshaft, everything's standard.
Okay, so they're not highly modified.
No.
The wheels. The wheels.
I think they can change the wheels.
Okay.
Wider rims.
Yep. Okay, that's good to see. There's Fadley's machine. There's Fadley. We caught up with him before. He's going to give it everything that he can, is what he said, and he needs to as well to get some good results for that ever important championship. Kawasaki have joined this year as well, haven't they?
Yeah, Kawasaki. So at least now we have 3 manufacturers: Yamaha, Honda, and Kawasaki. But looks like the Kawasaki still need a bit of work.
A little bit of work.
Yeah, to match up with the Hondas and the Yamaha.
And of course that's Krichipon from the AP Honda Racing Thailand team on the number 35 machine. qualifying in 10th position. Probably not where he wanted to be. Back down the grid, unfortunately for him. But if the Underbone 150 race is anything to go by, nothing to worry about, because by the first lap he could be leading.
Yeah, I think these 250s are like the last race in Buriram. You know, I think there was about 10 bikes capable of winning, but like I say, always you don't know who's gonna win because you have so many races, so many bikes there.
It's always a difficult one to know, but the grid's just starting to clear off as we have a look at Kanatat Jaman. Of course, another Yamaha Thailand racing team. It just seems to be that the Thais put a lot of effort into this 250 class.
Yeah, definitely. You can see they have a lot of Japanese engineer with the Thai teams and to help out the teams.
Of course, Makalada, we caught up with her before. She had some problems in qualifying with a chain. It looked like a chain that came off. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that won't happen again, whether that was a technical problem or something. I don't know why the chain would come off, but
it looks like somebody having a technical problem.
Yeah.
Just push the machine out.
Well, that's not a good start, is it?
On your left screen.
Yeah, not a good start at all. Of course, this race, 1 lap longer than the Underbone 150s. It's 9 laps around this 4.95 kilometre long circuit. You can see the shadows starting to form over the track now as the afternoon sun sets here in Australia. But looks like we're all set for the warm-up lap of the Asia 250 Production Championship. Race 1 here from the Bend in Australia, and they head off on the warm-up lap. I've got to ask you, Meng Heng, as I always like to know, you've got to tell me, who do you think is going to win this one?
Okay, I think we have maybe 3 or 4, you know, maybe Mario Aji and Rafik Topan and even Evans and even Anupat Saman. 5 guys capable of winning the race.
Of course, they're starting from the second row of the grid as Ferozi there's had his best qualifying as well. Pritchard Porn, who starts off on row 4 in Pirabong Budalet. He's always one to watch as well. It's a massive field of riders here, and of course there's definitely a few, you mentioned a few Japanese technicians, but there's also a few Japanese riders in this field as well. Suzuki Takahashi I saw there as well, and then let's not forget the other wild card from Australia, Zach Levy, who's making his debut in the series here in Australia, so good to see him doing that as well. Doubling up this weekend with the ASBK racing, and I'll tell you now, I know that the guys that are racing against your Asian guys are finding it very difficult, because these guys are very fast.
Yeah, because I think they have been riding the machine for quite some time, so I think 2 years.
Absolutely. Yeah. They really know how to push these bikes to the limit. And the other thing I like about this Asian Championship is the way that the riders, yes, they're racing here this weekend, but next weekend they could be racing in Japan, or some of the 600 riders Ajlan Shah went off and rode in the World Supersport. I think 4 riders went to the World Supersport round at Buriram, didn't they? Filled in. So, you know, it really is a proving ground for these young riders and the Asian riders as they set themselves up for this race.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you the capable of winning another one is Klada, the lady.
Oh, you think Klada's going to...
I forgot about Klada just now.
Okay, well, I'm not going to, after watching the race from Buriram, I'm not going to disagree with you. I think that Maklada's definitely up there with a chance. Of course, once again, we've got a mainstay of Honda and Yamaha machineries with a couple of Kawasaki's, 3 Kawasaki's in the field. A massive field here this weekend of Asian Production 250 class. Pretty much as stock as you like, and you tell me that they're almost off the showroom floor. Very professional looking machines as they line up for the start for this 9-lap race.
You can see the Thai 600 rider, Altapong.
Yeah,
600 watching the race.
Yeah, Rattabong there. Yeah. Of course, they'll be keeping an eye on the lights, trying to see if they can get some sort of advantage for the race.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's it.
Yeah, which will be coming up later on today.
Yeah.
Everybody getting ready now. The grid's set. The last people are riding out. Samoon takes his spot on the grid, just keeping everybody waiting a little bit. Maybe that's a bit of his technique, maybe a bit of a ploy, just to annoy everybody.
Yeah, and the green flag, the flag stick there.
Sam Phillips walks off the front. We're in the starter's hands. The Asia Production 250 race is underway for the first time here in Australia. 9-lap race. And if the Underbone 150 race is anything to go by, it's going to be really, really interesting as they head into turn 1. Who's your money on? Who's fast?
I think it looks like Mario Aji, bike number 16.
Mario Aji, Super Mario.
Yes,
looks like he's taking the lead for the first time ever at the bend into turn 1. What a great result from him. Everyone's through. There's a couple wide there in the middle of the pack, but they get through. What a good result there. But already a bike lengths lead. One of the Kawasaki's is up there too, which is good to see.
He went in and out again.
Yeah, he did.
He lifted the hand up.
That was Fadley had some sort of issue there, didn't he? But looks like he's back on it now. It's definitely a long way around here. 18 turns, as you said, 4.95 kilometres long, but already with a couple of bike lengths lead on the field is Super Mario leading the pack away on his number 16 Honda, the CBR Honda.
Yeah, looks good. He's really small size, you know. He started by, you know, the speed is there for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can see he just had a small gap from, I think, Danica Aarons, I think. Oh, that's Ashwin Sanjaya.
Yeah, it's good to see also because he's so small, he can tuck in behind the screen and really make a difference to the aerodynamic effect.
Yes.
And that aerodynamic is super important at a track like this, like you say. Is that Arwin Sanjaya in second position? Oh, already a bit of a moment there by Arwin Sanjaya. Anupab Samoon sits in third on the number 500 machine on the Yamaha, but has just been overtaken by Reza Danica. Reza Danica moves up into third, and Fadley now is in fourth position, but he's not going to stay there for long. Already passed. And while these guys are playing around,
yeah, I think teamwork. You know, 3 of them are teammates. You know.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys, you know, the front one, you go ahead and run.
Will they take it in turns?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You don't think they'll take it in turns winning?
No, I don't think so. No team orders, I don't think so.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. It's just that Super Mario has put in a super first lap, and he's already got a lead of 1.1 seconds, which is very unusual
big gap
in this class.
Yeah, for this class. But definitely we're going to keep an eye on bike number 500, Anupad Samoon.
Yeah, he's definitely one to watch for sure.
I think looks like Rafiq Topan nearly hit Anupad there.
Yeah, these guys definitely ride very close, don't they? And of course, Anupab Samoon on the number 500 machine, he leads the championship at the moment on 36 points. He's 5 points ahead of Mukalada, who we haven't seen yet. She's not in the top 10, is she?
I think she's number 12 now at the moment.
She's, I just saw her, she's down at about 11th to 12th position at the moment, so 12th position for Mukalada, so she's got a lot of work to do. She's second in the championship, but if she wants to win here today, she's got to do a lot of
work to do. Yeah.
Probably just a little bit too much. But how much do they develop? Are they developing that Kawasaki?
Yeah, it looks like the Kawasaki is going now. It's getting faster and faster, and of course,
big moment there. As well, these guys, the tyres on these bikes, are these more of a production-based tyre?
Yeah, these are more production tyres compared with the slicks.
Okay, and there we go, the number 35 machine there of Critchipon leads that pack. That's a massive pack from 7th place through to about 12th, and Mukalada's in the back of that one there, so good to see. But there's our leader, Super Mario, and he's doing a good job out front at the moment. He had a 1.1 second lead. It's 1.2 seconds at the moment, and with Reza Danica on the number 123 Honda, and Andy Mohammed Fadley in third as well, so good to see.
Yeah, good to see the Kawasaki is right there with the Hondas. And, I'm wondering the Yamahas. I don't know what happened to Anupad.
Yeah, he's
struggling, like, you know, to stay with the guys in front.
Yeah, he definitely is, isn't he? He's back there in 5th position at the moment, but he's lost another second. So whether he can pick that up down the straight in the slipstream or not is yet to be seen. But unless he made some sort of...
I think he...
Oh, did you see that? Fadley, completely sideways. good move by him, and there is the number 500 Yamaha. I mean, I think that machine there, the 500 Yamaha, is probably, that team is one of the most professional out there, isn't it? So you know, of the 250 group, Richard Taraya as well in the top 10.
Oh, there you can see Danica Aarons try to take Mario, Super Mario. And you can look at the Kawasaki is getting closer and closer. Yeah, the Kawasaki have improved, big improvement. Yeah, that's the brand new 2017 model, the new Kawasaki. So it looks like gonna give a.
Yeah, it's good to see
the Hondas.
Look at him, hands off the handlebar there, and Fadley not taking any notice of that. But it is really good to see that the Kawasaki have put so much effort in. Everybody's looking over their shoulders now, and that's, I mean, that's not helping their plight at all. Super Mario is flying away at the front with Reza Danica.
Yeah, it looks like he can't pull away from Reza Danica.
No, definitely
still,
not.
Yeah, I see the tank is still coming back.
Well, in fact, Reza Danica did the fastest lap here with a 2:08.3, so pulled in quite a bit of time that lap, which is you know, a pretty good, impressive move by him. But definitely not something that Mario Suryoaji wants to see. Just spreading out now with 7 laps to go here at Tailem Bend.
Looking at Muklada, she's at the moment I think number 8.
Yeah, well, when we look at Muklada, and I want to look at the lap time, she's definitely at 2:08.7 that time round. She's actually 0.3 or 0.4 quicker than the 2 or 3 guys in front of her. So she's definitely on a charge. There she is on screen now on the number 44 machine on her Honda. And she's got a beautiful style, but I think she just left herself too much work to do.
Yeah, I think she got to work really hard if she want to get in front of the group. Yeah, she's maybe like what, 3 seconds behind?
Yeah.
Maybe no, I think she's about 4 seconds.
She is 5.6 seconds off of the lead, and if she wanted to move up into the top 5, she would have to gain 2 or 3 seconds. So it is definitely possible with 6 laps to go that she can move up into that position. But look at the amount of sliding going on there now. That's
yeah, you can see Rafik Topan there just now. He was 4th, I think, 4th or 5th, and now he dropped to 10, I think.
Yeah, he's either had some sort of off-track moment, or the other issue he could have had, and we saw it then, was the tyre. I mean, he was doing a lot of sliding.
Yeah.
And that's another big moment there for the number 44. You could see her. These guys are really pushing the edge of the tyre, aren't they?
Maximum. They use the maximum there.
I guess these little 250s don't have that much horsepower, so they need to use the mid-corner speed. Absolutely.
Yes.
And that's what they set the bikes up for, more cornering speed and of course braking ability. You have to be so tough on the brakes on these little AP 250s.
That's why the risk is always there, you know, the bike will slide, and of course with this new track and the dust, so cornering speed is, you know, you got to go for the maximum speed there.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, as they pass the line at Super Mario, he's led every lap of this race at the moment, but the gap is coming down to 8.2 last time round by Reza Danica, and you can just see now that gap is virtually nothing. The Kawasaki man's falling back a little bit, but Owen Sanjaya is making his way forward.
Make work harder for Fadli and Anupat. He's 3 of them, 3 Hondas in front now.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, at Buriram, Owen Sanjaya didn't have the best of weekends. He ended up 9th overall, so he really does need to get a good result here this weekend. But Fadli, a little bit of touching on the outside there with Anupat.
Yeah, you can see Anupat now trying to catch the both, you know, first and second guy, and for sure that he will try to overtake Ashwin if he have the chance.
It's incredible to me how these guys can just, you know, sit back for a bit, and then before they know it, another big moment there
by Anupab. The rear just losing traction on the fall-in angle there. Lets Fadley go out wide. Fadley using all the track, but he dips in, and what a move!
Come back again. What
a great move there by Fadley on the Kawasaki. Just a beautiful move, and a hand off the handlebar. What's that? Is that saying thank you very much? Or?
Sorry? Oh, thank you. I'm not sure.
Probably both in one, but Anupab saying, well, you know what? You're not going to have any of that, but on the brakes he misses out. Anupab once again just has to sit in the slipstream of that Kawasaki, and they're having a nice little dice. But out the front, what a lead these two guys have got.
Yeah, I think that these two guys are pulling away from this second group here.
Yeah, they certainly are. They've put in a massive effort, and you know, that gap now out to a couple of seconds. Do you think it's possible for these guys here to work as a group?
I don't think so, because they are from different teams. No, I don't think they'll do that. You can see different manufacturer, Honda, Kawasaki and Yamaha.
Yeah, absolutely.
Intense, because the rivalry is so intense. That
so, I guess what you're saying is that these guys won't be going out to dinner tonight together.
They will try to, I mean, like, if I'm Ashwin, I would definitely try to, you know, make a bit slower and make sure that my teammates, you know.
Yeah, up the road. Yeah. Well, you know what, with 4 laps to go, that gap's opened out even more now. It's 2.3 seconds back to the second group. And Arvind Sanjaya is doing a good job on his machine. There's Fadley, of course, on the Kawasaki, the Manual Tech KY Racing Kawasaki, and Muklada on her Honda Racing Thailand bike as well. Good lap for her. Her last lap was a 209.1, which just dropped her off the pace a little bit as well. So she's moved up into 7th position though, so she is coming through the pack. And it looks like Krichaporn's next on her list.
Yeah, next on the list.
What's Krichaport like as a rider?
Yeah, Krichaport is he's doing not bad in Buriram, I think. He's 4th, I think. Yeah, but then I mean, like, he's home ground in Buriram, but now this is new track, everything is new, so.
Yeah, he seems to be doing a pretty good job here today. I mean, he doesn't have the pace of the two guys out in front. Reza Danica still running away with it at the moment. In fact, not on our screen now, but Reza Danica just set the fastest lap of the race at a 207.9 and went past Super Mario. So Super Mario now sitting in 2nd position. But Muklada is once again. Are these guys allowed to change their suspension as well? I know the Underbones have Owens. What about these bikes?
Yeah, they're allowed to change suspension.
Yeah, okay. But definitely Muklada pushing that bike to the absolute limit.
Maximum there.
Oh, another great move there. So these two guys are just swapping the lead.
Yeah, I think they are working together.
Working together.
Yeah, that's how I get the fastest lap, 207.
Okay, slipstreaming each other.
Yeah.
Is it usual to see a gap? I mean, it's out to 2.5, near over 3 seconds now. These guys are in front.
Because I think the second group you have Honda, Kawasaki, and Yamaha.
Yeah.
So definitely 3 of them will fight each other, you know, trying to overtake each other. But for the front group, they're just pacing themselves.
Yeah.
Get a quicker lap, you know, pull away.
Yeah, Anupab, of course, is just sitting in there on the back of that group. Hasn't really been able to make an impact this race.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the top speed on the front straight here. You can see the Yamaha maybe lose out.
Yeah.
Top speed there.
Yeah, talking about speeds, these little AP250s at this tailor-bid circuit, they're doing just under 200 kilometres an hour, 195 kilometres an hour in general. The slowest one's out there, 186. Oh, look how tight it is there. Fadley trying to find a way through, but he just can't do it. 3 laps to go now. He's certainly running out of time.
Still got 3 laps to go.
Yeah.
It's for the podium position that
everybody wants.
Yeah.
And one thing I'm sure that none of the other manufacturers want is a triple Honda podium, do they?
It's going to look like a one-leg race.
So of course you can imagine that Anupab Samoon will be trying his hardest in his final laps. Do you think that Anupab Samoon could be just sitting there in the background? He's looking over his shoulder now. Do you think he's just saving himself a little bit for the last?
So Steve, because looking at the top speed, you can see his bike is the slowest, 189.
Yeah.
The rest all hitting 190, over 195, 93.
Is that something that they can fix here overnight, or is that a general thing? I mean, is it like perhaps he's got the gearing wrong, or is it just a general?
Maybe, I think
Yeah.
Maybe the gearing is wrong.
Oh, once again at the front of the race here, it's certainly getting tight, and these guys might be teammates, but they're certainly lining one another up, with Rezadaneka still leading this one, but Super Mario in second position. I'm sure when it comes podium time, he doesn't want to be second, does he?
I think definitely he want to win. You can see the speed that Mario Aji have on Reza. He have a slightly advantage because he's like.
Now you've been a rider. We've talked about your riding and your the championships. You know, a couple of second places and things, and World Superbikes. But you've also been a team manager. Now, what would you be doing in the pit box now if that was your two guys out front like that? Surely it's a nerve-wracking time.
I would definitely ask them to, maybe in the pits I would tell them, if you guys leading, don't try to make any mistake. Don't try to make sure that you guys play a clean race.
Yeah, because it's very difficult to tell these guys that, isn't it? Towards the end, McLeod's just dropped off that group. She's moved in front of the number 35 of Critchaporn though, so a good job by her. She's definitely working her way forward, but I don't think we're going to see her on the podium today. She can't do it from there, can she?
Yeah, she's been like what, 4 seconds.
Yeah, she's definitely a long way behind the next guy. Good conditions out there, dry track, and of course it's 37.9 degrees track temperature, which is probably perfect for these Dunlop tyres. But you can still see how everyone's just pushing it to the absolute limit there.
We have 2 more laps to go.
Yep, 2 laps to go. McLeod just tucked in nicely behind the screen there. Changes down a gear, through and down the hill she goes. Great racing line there by her too. It's good to see. But meanwhile, back at the front, this is where Super Mario seems to get a bit of an advantage. He does. He gets a good drive out of turn 16, but on the brakes, he's probably not as good as Rezadaneka.
Yeah, because he's smaller size, I think.
Yeah.
Can't handle the bike. You can see the bike in front now.
Good job by Anapap. He's really started to put the hammer down, and he's stretched that group out. He's made his way from the back to the front, and perhaps that Yamaha's not as slow as we thought it was.
Right, we'll see the slipstreaming here.
Oh yeah.
Kawasaki coming.
Okay.
There you can see the Honda coming.
Yeah, the Honda's going to come as we head on to the last lap now. This is going to get interesting.
Yeah.
Will team orders come into play, or will they not? And will it be an all Honda podium, or will it not?
I think.
Oh, what a move!
Yeah, Fadley gonna do something.
Oh, that was a great move by Fadley there. Just got on the accelerator, but he's run wide. Has he held it? He's managed to hold it. It's Amwin Sanjaya, good job by him as well, and Anupap Samoon involved in this as well. We saw that he managed to get past, so keep an eye on the man at the back on the Yamaha there. Just because he's at the back at the moment doesn't mean he's going to be there as they click back through the gears. He's down through the gearbox as they head into that hairpin for the last time, and this is for your final podium position. This isn't even for the win of the race. Fadley, of course, is the man in front here of this group for third position, and just takes a nice, perfect line there. And Super Mario and Rezadaneka way up the road at this point. Can't even see where they are.
They're going to be close, for sure. You can see the Honda is coming.
Absolutely. Awin Sajaya there in the sandwich in the middle, right in front. Yep, we saw a glimpse of the 2 leaders, the number 123 and the number 16. But at the moment, it looks like it's 3 Hondas in a row. It's still a bit of track to go. Anapapa up there outside now. How's he going to go around the outside? It's a long way round there.
It looks like Rezadaneka Aaron's in front.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super Mario second.
Yeah, this is a good result as they head around that turn 17 again. It's exactly where he needs to be, Rezadaneka. It's going to be interesting to see if the slipstream effect will work here for him. Oh no! Awin has gone down. Oh, that's definitely not what he wanted to see. But as we head over the line, the finish flag is out. Who's going to win this one? Difficult to see, but it looks like it's Danica. Rezadaneka Renz wins it with Mario Suraji
in second position, and the Kawasaki man, Andy Mohammed Fadli, takes third position. Anupam Samoon, unfortunately for him, takes fourth and misses out on the podium, so a difficult one. But look who comes through to take fifth position. Believe it or not, McLarder probably passed the most people in the race.
Yeah,
and, an incredible ride by her. Critchaporn, of course, in sixth position, so that was a really good result. Good result for Kawasaki as well to get himself. Yeah, it's good to see Fujiwara here. He's team manager now, yeah?
Team manager for Fadli and all the Kawasaki.
Okay. Obviously, I've spent a lot of time with Fujiwara many years ago when he used to race in the World Superbike Championship. So there he is, yeah.
He's very emotional.
Oh, he needs to be too, because there's a lot of... he's been with the Kawasaki factory for a long, long time, but there's...
you can see...
yeah, one very sad...
Ashwin Sanjaya.
Yeah, one very sad Honda rider there, Ashwin Sanjaya, misses out 200 metres away from getting a podium here.
Yeah.
And while his teammates stand on the podium, he has to walk the walk of shame back to the pit box. So
he crashed by himself. I think we pushed the...
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I guess that the pressure on him to do that, as we have a look at the results now with Residenico Arenz taking the win from Super Mario in second position. Andy Mohammed Fadli on the Kawasaki, good result for him in third. Anupam Samoon on the Yamaha, the first Yamaha in the group, and McLarder as well. What a great ride through the pack she had. Critchaporn, brilliant ride by him, and also Angie Setawan, another brilliant ride. Rafat Topin and also Ferrazi, the youngster, good ride by him. A fifth also makes it into the top 10. So a really good ride by those riders. There's Hafiz as well, 11th, the Malaysian, and Kanatat Jamin in 12th. Hafiz Rosa in 13th, and Pirapong Bunalat in 14th. An incredible array of riders. Of course, Suzuki Takashi, we talked about him before. He's in 16th position. Kai Rul in 17th. Chao Kilung in 18th. Richard Torreira in 19th, and Chao Vietnam in 20th. And there's more. There's still another 5 riders to go. Of course, Daniel finishes in 21st, and Awin Sanjaya, who didn't finish the race, and there's a few non-finishes there as well that wraps it up. But when you head to the podium, it doesn't get any happier than that, does it, when you get to give your teammate a bit of a hug?
Yeah, especially both for you guys, you know, first and second.
Okay, so the teams don't get on very well together, but what about the riders within the teams? Are they pretty friendly?
They get along together. I mean, like, they were like friends outside, you know, but in the track, they really,
yeah, it's good to see that they're there as they pull their helmets off. I mean, it's a big job for these guys to come all the way down to Australia. They must, you know, have to spend a lot of time together away from the track, and I guess it helps if they're friendly. I mean, if they have an accident or a problem together on track, it's not going to make the travelling very friendly, is it?
For sure. I mean, like, normally, because now all the big manufacturers involved, especially like Honda, Kawasaki, and Yamaha, so definitely all this rivalry will be very intense compared to last time when I raced.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely good to see. There's another shot of all the spectators in Australia. Everybody has the 4-wheel drive.
And a nice deck chair there.
That's right, deck chairs. A lot of motorcycle road riders have come here. But for now, let's flow down to Huling, who's with our winners.
Okay, first of all, Fadli, very congratulations, your very first podium in the 250cc class, and the first for your team Manotech KYT Kawasaki as well.
Yeah, for first, thanks to Kawasaki Indonesia and all family to support me, and also thanks to God to give me position 3. It's my first podium, but I'm very happy, and I will try more for tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Fadli. And coming in second place today is Mario Suyuraji from Astra Honda Racing Team. Mario, congratulations, another podium in the 250cc class. How was your first race here?
First, I want to say thank you for my family and my team. Yeah, I'm very happy for my second podium with my teammate. In the first lap, I tried to make a gap in back. Yeah, me and Reza can make gap for rider behind. So today, for very many learn for tomorrow. Tomorrow I will more better than today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mario. And our race 1 winner here at the Van Motorsport Park is Reza Danica Arons. Reza, congratulations first of all. Obviously 1-2 with your teammate Mario. How was your first race?
Yeah, first I say thanks God. Thanks to my family, for to Astra on the racing team and all crew give me best setting for this race. Yeah, from the practice one, I learning about new circuit, new setting, step by step until qualifying. I can get pole position, and today race, Alhamdulillah, I can get win for first this year. I hope tomorrow can be fight again for victory. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Reza, and now we'll await the podium ceremony.
Well, there was some very happy smiles down there on the podium. It was really good to see that group of guys. Of course, Reza Danica Arons is your winner with Super Mario Aji in second position and Andy Mohammed Fadli. But this is how it played out. This is the replay, of course, of the first ever Asia 250 Production Championship race, one from Down Under. They got off to a pretty good start, and it's a long, long run, as you can see, down into turn 1 here at the new Taylor Bend circuit they call the Bend. It was difficult to see who it would be, but one thing's for sure, Muklada got a terrible start. But of course it was the number 16 man, Super Mario, who took off from the start, and within a lap he had a second lead. Of course, Reza Danica Arons wasn't going to let his teammate get away. He got into second position early on, and of course Anupap Samoon was up there, but there was slides aplenty because it's slippery out there, and as we heard from Meng Heng, these bikes do use a lot of mid-corner speed and they really wear the tyres. Slipstreaming was the name of the day, and one man who used that to the most was Andy Mohammed Fadli on his Kawasaki. He really did get in there and put that brand new Kawasaki for 2018 right in with a chance of getting on the podium, and in fact he got there in the end. Yamaha probably didn't have the day that they wanted, but Anupap Samoon gave it his all, and it looked like he could make it up there to get onto the podium at one point, but it wasn't to be. Fadli wasn't happy with something out there, took his hand off the handlebar. Perhaps it was the closeness of the racing with his good old friend on the Yamaha, Anupap Samoon. But one thing we do know is these guys don't hang out together at night, do they? Meanwhile, at the front, it was synchronised racing. The two Honda teammates won 2, and they were this close together throughout the whole distance of the race. And of course, it was the number 123, Reza Danica, who set the fastest lap of the race as well. But with 3 laps to go down the straight, it looked like Super Mario would take the lead. The team were chewing their fingernails and looking on pensively because they were thinking that perhaps they could get 3 of their bikes on the podium, but Fadli had other ideas as he nipped up the inside and took that position. It wasn't to be though, because back in front he went. But this group, you've got to say, it was an incredible display of racing for that last spot on the podium. In the end, on the last lap, it was Reza Danica Arons who led out of turn 17, but look here, bang, crash, and down and out he went. So that was the end of that one. But coming onto the start finish straight for the last time and over the line, tucked in, it was Reza Danica Arons who took victory from teammates Super Mario Suryo Aji. And Fadli finished off the podium with, of course, Anupap Samoon just missing out. So, and as you mentioned, and as you said, Meng Heng's, there he is, Fujiwara, a famous racer in his own right, probably the most famous racer here today, saying thank you very much to Fadli for such a great result. Let's head down to Willing for the podium.
This is the podium ceremony for the Asia Production 250cc Race 1 here at the FIM Asia Road Racing Championship Round 2. Coming in third place today from Manual Tech KYT Kawasaki Racing, Andy Muhammad Fadli. In second place today from Astra Honda Racing Team, Mario Suryo Aji. And today's Asia Production 250cc Race 1 winner from Astra Honda Racing Team, Reza Danica Arens. We also like to invite a representative from Astra Honda Racing Team to accept the award. There's no sound. Okay. We will now stand for the national anthem of Indonesia.
Wow, what a great podium that was. It was fantastic to see. An all-Indonesian podium as well,
podium,
so
yes.
fantastic to see there as the boys stand up on and receive their trophies from Mr. Mark Warren from the bend. Andy Mohammed Fadli, of course,
second place today, also from
gets his trophy. Well deserved as well. Super Mario. He's really small, isn't he?
Small size, really small. I think he's what, 50 kg?
50 kg.
Or maybe less than that.
It's amazing that he can throw that motorcycle around, isn't it?
Around.
It's, anyway, pretty amazing. And our winner, of course, Reza Danica Herens from the Astra Honda Racing Team. They've had a pretty good day.
Yes, I mean the Honda Astra. You know, if Ashwin didn't crash, he have a chance to go up the podium too.
Absolutely. Well, they also picked up the team award for this race, and as we have a look at the podium there, the team award once again goes to the Astra Honda Racing Team. And what a good way to wrap up this race for these guys.
Yeah, but we still have another race tomorrow.
Fujiwara, of course, there he is. He's very, very proud man down there.
Emotional. I can see that.
I reckon he'll be emotional too.
Yeah, for sure.
Really looking forward to seeing that. And you know, he's running a very successful little team.
Yeah, I mean, you raced World Superbike with him before?
Yeah, also SuperSport. I did a little bit of World SuperSport racing with him.
Okay.
But if we just have a quick look at the standings now, Anupab Samoon still leads the championship on 49 points. Reza Danica is in second position on 48 points, so it's pretty close at the top. Super Mario didn't do himself any harm, 46 points. Muklada is fourth in the championship with 42. Of course, Rafid Topin, 39 points. And Mohammed Fadli on the Kawasaki's done a good job as well, moving up to 31 points. Pirungpung Binlet, 28 points. Kanatat Jaiman, 27, and of course Krichapon in 24 points. Richard Taraya rounds out the top 10, and Awin Sanjaya, who we saw earlier on in the race, good result for him with 15 points. Ferozi with 14, Anji Setawan with 14, Ahmed Afif Rahman 9 points, Hafiz also there on 9 points, and Hafiz Arofa 4 points, Anish Damodar Shefti with 1 point, and also Karul Ewan Ajiz from Malaysia 1 point. So good result from those guys. But for now, that's the end of the racing for the Asia 250 production. But don't go away, because after this break we'll be back with the big boys. The 600s are coming on track, so in a couple of minutes go get a drink or whatever you need to do, come back and join us, because we've been waiting for this moment when the 600s hit the track. Okay. Hello and welcome back to the Tailem Bend, the brand new track here in Australia. We're live from the Bend Motorsport Park in Adelaide, and we're here for good reason, because we are in conjunction with the Australian Superbike Championship, which is a first. It's never been done before. It's been in the making for the last 3 years, and finally it's come. But I want to show you, and I want to tell you a little bit about what happens here in Australia, because not only do we have the 600 class, we have a 300 production class, but we also have superbikes here, and I know that the Asian classes are looking at heading towards the superbikes. So here's a little bit of a taste of what we do down under. William Strugnell there on his Kawasaki ZX-10. We've got bumper fields. The grids are always growing down here all the time, and I'll tell you what, some of the champions are coming back. And when I say champions, I mean, have you ever heard of Troy Bayliss?
Yes,
he's here, and he's racing here this weekend. Josh Waters, 3-time champion and Suzuka racer as well. He's been racing in Japan, raced for Yoshiyama. He's a good, definitely a top class rider. I know that you've probably ridden against many of these Australians in the past, and what a proving ground it is. There is the beautiful 21 machine of Troy Bayliss, and of course we have factory teams here too. We've got BMW involvement. There's the involvement from Yamaha, and Daniel Fauzon, the young South Australian, who this weekend hopes to be able to get a podium on his factory Yamaha. It's not all happiness though. Scott Nicholson is one guy that has things that don't go his way, but There's Brian Starring, another guy that runs in this championship. But the thing about it is that what we like to do with these championships is we like to keep them very, very simple, like yours. We don't like to modify the bikes too much, and that makes it very, very affordable racing, and it allows a lot of different people to come here. So just like the Asian Road Racing Championship, I know that the Australian Superbike Championship are very, very happy to be racing here this weekend. We don't have the 250s, we have the 300s here in Australia, so a little bit more power, but I do notice that your guys are going faster than ours, so perhaps we need to send a few people over to you to learn how to ride. Of course, Factory Suzuki are here too with Josh Waters and Bayliss. I mean, he's probably the big man, the man that's come back.
He's the oldest guy around, I think.
He is
49.
He's 49 years old now, Troy Bayliss. But because we don't have the Superbikes in the Asian Road Racing Championship, we're going to recap the qualifying of the 600cc, which is for now the top class in the Asia Road Racing Championship. So very soon we'll have a look and see what happened in qualifying here in the 600 class, because I can tell you it was a pretty exciting stuff. As everybody heads out onto the grid, the 3-minute board as well.
Yeah, it looks like.
So this is what happened in qualifying. The Kawasaki 600s went out there first, and of course it was the number 634 machine who wanted to get out there and do his best, and it was Tomoyoshi Koyama. He led the qualifying for quite some time, normally number 71, but this weekend he's taken 634 and he wanted to do that number proud. So Koyama came through with a 157.2 and then a 157.0, and he thought that that might have been enough to put him on the front row, but unfortunately for him there were other people out there that decided that that wasn't going to be the case. Of course, number 76 Ito was one of those riders that wanted to do his best, and Yuki Ito, of course, from the Yamaha racing team ASEAN, was on a mission here at the brand new track, and he put in fastest lap after fastest lap and managed to do a 56. He was the first man into the 56s. A 56.5 was his time, and he was happy with that. Incredible to see. Of course, we've got to mention this, a big crash that happened earlier on in the session and put the end of the session to one of the riders out there. But we're missing a few riders this weekend. Anthony West, the championship leader, he's not here.
Yeah, and even our Malaysian Zakwan Zaidi is not here.
Absolutely. So there are points to be made, aren't there? And this man here,
Aslan Shah.
Aslan Shah was trying to make the most of it, but
he's having a problem. Having problem doing times, you know, to make out the time.
Yeah, any feedback onto what Aslan Shah's problem was, because this was his opportunity to make the most of the championship.
Yeah, I think he was saying that the tire is tearing, you know, not much grip on the tires.
Kazma Daniel, of course, did a best lap of 57.1, and that was with 1 minute to go. Wasn't enough to put him on the front row of the grid though, but he managed to his best lap. Ito was still hanging in there though on his machine, and you would almost think that this was the race, but no, it's only qualifying. The race is yet to come. When the checkered flag went out, it was Yuki Ito on the number 76 machine who had that pole position, and what an incredible pole position it was. Joseph Francis, of course, on Anthony West's bike, took second position, so it was a pretty good result for the Webb bike Aikuchi racing team. Let's head down to Weiling because she is with some of the riders.
Okay guys, I'm down here back on the grid, this time the SuperSports 600cc, and we'll start with the surprising fourth on the grid today for race 1, Malaysian rookie rider Kasma Daniel Kasma Yudin. So Kasma, since this is your first time here in Australia, did you expect to be performing so well? Because you were also quickest in warm-up this morning.
For the first all, I actually not expect for the grid like this, but I know this in the race maybe going to tough race, but I will try my best. Then I will do it for the podium and for the team and for the country.
So what about this circuit that is working well for you, because you are really quick here at the Van Motorsport Park?
Maybe my feeling with the bike, maybe going like stressy. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Kasma. All the best in race 1. And starting alongside Kasma on the grid is Tomoyoshi Koyama. So Koyama is starting 5th. Koyama-san, not too bad of a position right now. You're in the center of the starting grid. How are you looking forward to the first race here in Australia?
Yeah, I think less very tough race because you know, management tire. So the frontal tire is very there's so much damage, but we will see. Looking for the race.
All right, thank you so much, Koyama. Good luck for race 1. And we're moving on to 6th on the grid, Decha Kraishat. Decha, we know that yesterday you had 2 crashes and you had some injuries. Can you share with us how are you feeling right now before the first race?
Yeah. Today I try hard for the race, but now let's say cannot 100% control on the gas on the brake. Okay, I try hard today.
Okay, thank you so much, Decha, and good luck for the first race. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Well, there we go. We've heard from a few guys down on the grid. What do you make of Desha Kreisart there? The fact that he says that he's injured.
His finger.
Yeah.
So you, as a rider, we should know. You know, once you injure the fingers, you're heartbreaking. You know, you're gonna be a mess. You know, going to the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, 2 crashes. It just shows how technical this circuit is. It's definitely one that you know, you have to be really careful of. Of course, this race here today is the longest one that we're going to have. It's 15 laps long around this 4.95 kilometre tail and bend circuit. There is our pole man on the number 76 machine, Yuki Ito. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's very consistent, you know, throughout the weekend. He's very consistent with the times, you know, and definitely he's the rider to watch out for.
He looks like he's a bit of a joker too. Doesn't mind playing up to the crowd.
But it looks like he's more confident this race compared to the last few races.
Yeah. So how long is? Oh, now what about this guy? Yeah.
I mean, first time I watched him race here. So
it's an incredible story though. He's come in to take the bike of Anthony West, the championship leader, and if he'd have qualified 10th, I think everyone would be happy. But he's managed to put the bike on the front row of the grid, so it's a really impressive job by him. Tiger Harder, what are his chances? He seems to be pretty fast here.
Okay, but he's not really that consistent, you know, compared to some of the riders.
Yeah, of course. At Buriram, he ended up 9th heading out of there, so he's just in the top 10 of the championship. But Kazma Daniel?
Yeah, I think we're going to watch out for him also for this race. So he's not that fast in Buriram, but suddenly come here, he adapt to the track, and he likes the track. That's
I think another thing you need to look at is the differences between the 2 tracks, because it is a really different track, isn't it? This one's much more on the lean angle. As we have a quick look at Koyama on the number 634, the famous Musashi number.
Musashi number. That's
He's
right.
done a lot of
laps.
laps.
He got to use the number instead of his normal number.
Yeah.
So I asked him, is this number a bit too heavy for you?
Well, it was a little bit heavy. It didn't get him onto the front row of the grid, did it? So unfortunate for him. But Decha Kreisart. Decha Kreisart, sorry. Good qualifying by him as well.
I think he raced in Buriram in World SuperSport. I think he was 4th or 5th.
He did an incredible job. You know, in fact, I think there was about 4 or 5 of the Asian normal riders that went on.
Yeah,
and
even
did
I think
a good
even
job.
Ratapong Villarod,
Yeah.
he was.
Well, Ratapong Villarod, correct me if I'm wrong, did he fill in for Kenan Sophocleou on his bike?
No, Kenan Sophocleou was filled in by Aslan Shah.
Ah, okay. But of course, another great rider for sure that knows the Buriram track well. Well, the Astra Honda team with number 16 in the 250 class went well.
Yeah, and the 600 now. So
what do you think that Ifran can
600
do?
will be, they will struggle a bit here.
Yeah, he looks very young, does Ifran? So
Irfan, Adian Shah.
Irfan, yeah. So it looks like there's a little bit of work to do. Is the Honda? I mean, the Honda's been around for a while now, hasn't it? Is it still a competitive machine in this class?
Still competitive. If I mean, like if they really set it up, I think they'll be there. And Ahmad Yudhishthira, fastest Kawasaki, I think third row?
Yeah, third row. He just rounds out the third row in 9th position, so it's not a bad. It's better than being 10th, because if he was 10th, he's obviously on the 4th row. But pretty impressive for him to get onto that third row and be the first Kawasaki man.
Yeah, and then you can see Ramdan Rosli here from Malaysia.
He's starting from that 4th row of the grid, so unfortunately for him, not the best of starts. But Buriram didn't work out very well for him either. He's way down in the championship at the moment. Let's hope that he can get it together.
You can see Aslan Shah, the leader. No, I think he's not leader. I mean, like chances of getting more points, but it's not doing well for him.
No. What do you make of that? What do you make of it?
I'm not sure what's wrong with he or the machine. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, this track does seem to be a confidence type circuit. So Kameneth Kubo, of course, from the Yamaha Racing Hassian team, is back on the grid as well. Number 88 there. Another rider, of course, Kazuki Kuihara. Kuihara with the AP Racing Thailand team, of course, from Japan. Good to see him on the grid, but I'm sure he wishes he was much further up. There's a massive field in this class, isn't there?
Yeah, I think they have like what? I think more than 18. They have about 18, 22 bikes?
32 bikes, okay.
They have 23 bikes.
23 bikes.
23.
It's a big field, isn't it?
Yeah.
It certainly takes a lot of planning to get 23 bikes or more riders and the rest of the field all the way over to Australia, and bring enough spares with you to make sure that you complete the whole weekend. It's not an easy job.
Yeah, looking at the tyres that they're going to use, I think all of them are using a hard front and rear.
Yeah, okay.
Except for Nicholson, he's going to use a medium hard.
Is that normal? Do you think, would they normally use hard tyres at other tracks, or do they?
Yeah, mostly all the Asian track they use. There's Brock Pearson.
Of course, another young Australian
guy.
Yep, he's already had one podium today, finishing 3rd in the Australian SuperSport.
Yeah, he used to race the Asian Dream Cup. And he had a bad crash, right?
Yeah, he did. He had a bad crash a couple of weeks ago. Oh, sorry, no, a year ago now. And he was lucky to
nearly end his career, right?
Yeah, he was lucky to come back from that one. But I'll tell you what, he's more than come back. We just got a glimpse of Tom Taparis there as well. He's another normal runner in the Australian SuperSport, Kawasaki SuperSport Championship. As we head down to the back of the grid.
It's Amirul Haziq, I think.
Yep. And there's that crowd again. It's heading on into the evening here now, but everybody super keen to see these 600s out on track. See how they run. The thing that the people like is they like the closeness of the racing in the Asian Championship. It really is super good.
You can see Azrai Hakim on the Musashi Honda.
Yep, another Musashi Honda out there. It's amazing how much effort and help these companies put in all around the world as well. Musashi, I mean, it's obviously a Japanese sponsor, but
I think definitely the team got to pay a lot also, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Zakir Muhammad there from 1XOX TKK Racing Team.
Yep.
From Malaysia.
Got a little bit of work to do, hasn't he? Starting
nearly end of the
back
grid,
from there.
back of the grid.
The grid's just starting to be cleared now, of course. 15 laps around here, that probably goes some way to explain why most of the guys have got the hard combination tyre-wise.
Yeah. We have 8 rows today.
Yeah. Scotty Nicholson.
23, yeah.
Sorry, how many?
23 bikes.
23 bikes.
Yes.
Scotty Nicholson, and of course rounding up or off the grid is Patrick Lee.
Patrick Lee from
Australia.
Yes.
He's actually from Melbourne. He owns a motorcycle shop. I didn't know if you knew that or not, but good to see Patrick Lee. He's he rides in the Australian Superbike Championship as well, but I've noticed his name pop up in your championship too, so good to see him out there and enjoying himself. Not long to go now before this race gets underway. The warm-up lap will start in just a couple of minutes, of course. The tyre warmers are off now, probably not ideal. Got to imagine it's cooling down there outside a little bit now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the track temperature. I think it's about now at the moment is 39 degrees.
39, is it?
Celsius, yeah. And the air temperature is 28.
These guys would be used to a lot hotter conditions than these, surely. I mean, racing in Asia.
Yeah, I mean, normally they use mostly all hard compound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's what about in qualifying and stuff like that? Do they use a softer?
I think they use medium.
Medium
should be.
Okay. How many different compounds are there? Do you know?
They have three.
Three. So soft, medium,
and hard.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I guess perhaps you could put a softer one in there if you wanted to, but
yeah, but you're gonna manage the tires. So
they are too. Yeah. You do, and as we've seen, this track can be very abrasive because of it's only brand new, so we'll have to see. There's the medical car, of course. Safety paramount here in Australia and everywhere else around the world nowadays. But I've got to say this is one of the safest circuits that I've seen in a long time too. It really is, you know, there's plenty of runoff.
Yes, and the actual length of this whole track, I think, is what, 7.9?
Well, there's two different,
track. If you combine them together, I think you get about, what, 8 kilometers?
That's correct.
Wow,
it's if we want to have a long race, we can have one.
Yeah, 8 kilometers, imagine.
Yeah, there's many different ideas and thoughts for other championships and things coming to this circus, but for now it's Asia Road Racing Championship time. SuperSports 600 race 1, 15 laps as they head off on their warm-up lap. Let's have a quick look at the grid. Yuki Ito takes pole position. Surprisingly, Joseph Francis in second, Taiga Hado third, and that rounds out the front row. Kazuma Daniel in row 2 with Tomoyoshi Koyama on the famous number 634 Musashi machine. Decha Kreisart rounds out the second row with Rathapon Willarot in row 3 with Ifran in 8th position and Ahmed Yudhishthira from 9th. So a good top 3 rows there. Ramadan Rosali starts row 4 with Aslan Shah not where he needs to be in 11th position. Kemna Kubo starts from 12th with Kazuo Kiwihara row 5. Farid Izidha in 14th and Pasawat Thirak in 15th. Brock Pearson starts row 6, of course, the young Australian. Tommy Taparis just behind him with a 59.2, and Amaral Hafrik Amim Azmi in that position. It's 7th. We've got Azaroy Hakim Anur, Muhammad Abram Noruddin, of course, a name we know, and Muzakak Muhammad in row 7. Row 8 is Scott Nicholson. Patrick Lee rounds out the starting grid in what's going to be a very exciting race. Now, what about Joseph Francis? I know you haven't seen a lot of him, but do you think that he can win this race?
Yeah, possibility is there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him ride before. So, have you seen him riding?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
He's from Great Britain.
He's Great Britain. He races. Right? Yeah, races in the British Championship over there, and
from the British Superbike or something.
Yeah, SuperSport Championship or something over there, and yeah, he's somehow found out that Anthony wasn't going to be racing, and yeah, he's
a replacement rider for Anthony West.
Absolutely. And I guess the next question is Aslan Shah, can he make the jump from 11th position up to the podium, which is what he needs to do?
I think that's going to be a hard one for him because definitely he can't really do the time that the leaders are doing, you know, the 56 mid, and he's doing what, 57 mid, so it's like 1 second
Yeah.
So 1 second, I mean like, Steve, you are a rider, I mean like 1 second.
It's a long,
yeah,
long
it's
way.
long way.
As riders just take their grid positions now. Just last chance to make sure that everything's in good condition. Front 2 rows are set. Just waiting for some stragglers. Last little minute. The green flag's waved at the back, the red flag's out at the front, the bikes are in gear, the clutches are in, the red light's on, and they're away. Great start from Harder.
Wow, I hope that everybody had a good start there.
Do you think that might have been a jump start?
Looks like it.
We'll find out very shortly, but the man leading the race at the moment, Tiger Harder, got a great start, perhaps a little bit too good. Oh, there's a couple of crashes down there. That's not Aslan Shah.
No, that's Yudis, I think.
Oh no, 3 guys down in turn 1 there, and they're not happy.
Tomoyashi, Koyama.
Oh, not what we wanted to see.
Went over to the other guy.
Yeah, looks like everyone's up though and in good condition. So Joseph Francis, he got a great start. So did Irfan in 3rd position. But the number 23 machine of
Tiger Harder is leading at the moment.
Yeah, it's a great start for him when you consider that he started from the front row. So we still need to see if he got a jump start or not, but that's not for us to decide. So we'll find out very shortly. As let's have a look. You talk us through it.
Okay, I think over break, I think he went.
Yeah,
he passed in the corner.
Yeah, he went in and that was the end of that, wasn't it? Not much to be done there, but the race has ended rather quickly for a couple of our riders. So
there was Kasma, Daniel, Ahmad, Yudis, and I think Koyama, I think.
Oh,
3 of them.
No, hopefully it wasn't Koyama because he was definitely up there on the grid. So unfortunately for Koyama, it looks like he could be out.
Yeah, I don't see his name on the...
Yeah, look, there it is, number 634. Such a promising start to the weekend, over before he even gets through turn 1. So disappointing for him. But meanwhile, back out front, normal service resumes. There's Ito, and he's in 3rd position. He was leading through practice most of the time. Very disappointing for him.
Yeah, the 634.
Yeah,
Koyama there.
Yeah, they're pushing Koyama's machine back now, trying to get it out of the way at least. But he won't be taking any further part in this race, that's for sure. As they head down that straight for the first time, and it's Joseph Francis. I don't think anyone saw that coming, but Tiger Harder right up in behind him in the slipstream. And it looks like Yuki Ito is actually just starting to close that gap a little bit. Irfan, yeah, he's doing a good job as well, isn't he? He's right in there behind Yuki Ito. It's almost like some of these guys have just found a little bit extra and are able to stick right up there. Tom Taparis as well has moved up into the top 8 as well.
Oh, somebody crashed. Oh, wow.
Oh, a few more guys down.
3 guys there.
That's, wow. That's...
looks like... Not sure who's that.
Yeah, can't see the number on that one. I reckon that's Brock Pearson. I reckon that could be the Australian. Like so unfortunately, looks like Brock Pearson's ended his day in the gravel, which is not what he wanted to do. So unfortunately for Brock, he's a talented rider, but yeah, not going to be his day.
Looks like Adrian. Oh, there you go, the starting.
Well, I don't know. I'm going to leave that one up to you. We haven't had anything. I think that's just a perfect start. I think that Tiger Harder should take up drag racing because that was perfect. Good job by him off the line there on his Honda, and he leads the race at the moment with Yuki Ito in 2nd position and Irfan in 3rd, and Tommy Taparis from Australia. Is that right? He's up into 4th position. Wow, that's where did he come from? He come from way back.
Yeah, Tom Taparis.
Yeah, he's a great little rider. There's some riders under investigation after those crashes. Yeah, so we'll be finding out a little bit more about that later on. But meanwhile, back to the action now because Tom Taparis has moved up into 3rd and looks like he's going to join the party. Can you believe that?
Good day for the Australian.
Oh! That looked like Andy Ferretti-Zar had a bit of a moment there. We've got Ramdan Rossili as well back in 6th position, so a good result for him at the moment.
At the moment we have where is Francis?
He's gone. I wonder if he was...
I can't see him on the screen.
I wonder if he was one of the guys taken out in one of those crashes earlier on.
He's 16 now.
Yeah, he's had some sort of issue, hasn't he? He's on the way down. I think that here he is.
He's coming in.
Yeah, he's.
Oh no,
that was him.
That is Casma Daniel.
Yeah,
the one
okay. Okay, so Casma Daniel's gone down. Perhaps that number 12 that we saw that we thought was Brock Pearson.
Yeah.
Perhaps that was the young Englishman.
Looks like Yuki Ito leading the race now.
Yeah, good to see Yuki Ito. He's definitely made a move and moved up towards the front.
And top Paris is second now.
Yeah, Taaga must have made a mistake because he was way out in front, and Yuki Ito's come through. Perhaps those two guys came together. Hard to know at this point. Oh! Tom Paris. Now that's a bit of a
big eyesight.
Very lucky to get away with that one. With those perhaps not letting the hard Dunlop tyres get up to working temperature. Still in the first couple of laps of this race. It's a long race. 13 laps around this circuit.
Very close on this, huh?
Yeah, he didn't have much spare there, did he?
Yeah.
Yuki Ito's looking pretty smooth out the front.
He's a very smooth rider.
What's his history, Yuki Ito? Has he been in the series for a while?
Yeah, I mean he's been in the series I think 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, okay. So he's been a front runner.
Yeah, he's been quite strong. He's but a bit unlucky. You know?
Yeah, he has been a little bit unlucky, but he's still quite up there in the championship. 6th position at the moment on his machine, on his Yamaha. So good to see. Let's have another look at this. That's
the
Tom Paris. Yeah, that's Tom Paris.
Whoa.
Doesn't get much closer to crashing than that, does it? Doesn't get much closer. Oh my goodness. But he's there and he's managed to hang on. Good to see a little bit of a group forming together at the front now. Fastest man on track though, Tom Paris 57.7, but his last lap definitely wasn't 57.7, was it? Definitely good to see that he's up there on his Kawasaki, Cube Racing Kawasaki. Yeah, let's keep an eye out. We've got to see if we can see where the Aslan Shah is.
16, I think.
Oh, that is not good. He needs to try and get some points.
Yes.
So he's right behind Joseph Francis at the moment. So
even Decha Kresak also having problem with the hand, I think, the finger.
Yeah, so a few of the guys out there not where they need to be, especially for the championship. It's going to be a really disappointing weekend for the Kawasaki crew. If Aslan Shah, oh, we got a big crash. That's Yuki Ito. Yuki Ito's gone down. Yeah, he's had a big high side. Yuki Ito's gone down. I'm pretty sure that they're going to stop this one. So that's going to be just see what they say. We'll just have to wait and see.
Whether they can clear.
Yeah, hopefully they can clear the track.
Time.
Yeah, let's hope that he can be moved out of the way and they can keep this race running. But that was a big crash. Red flag's out.
Yeah, there you go.
Red flag is out. Not what we wanted to see, but the safety of our riders is paramount, and it's exactly what we needed to do. The safety car will come onto the course, and medical attention will get to Yuki Ito instantly, and look after him and get him taken care of. So for the meantime, we just have to.
You can see the Chakrasa, the hand. I think he's having problem with the hand.
Yeah, okay, so he's obviously pulled in, hasn't he, to try and... he pulled in earlier than that, didn't he? Tom Paris won't be happy with that. He made good strides forward.
But anyway, if they the red flag, they're going to come back to the grid, then they're going to have a quick start later on, and they're going to follow the grid on the position.
From the race?
From the race.
Okay, yep, so that's good. So at least all that
So at least Tom Paris still will be in front.
So, will these guys have enough spare tyres now? There's still 12 laps to go in this race.
I think they're using hard compound. I see for sure. For sure, they're going to use back the same tyres.
But with 12 laps, would they maybe consider? I don't know.
Changing a softer.
Maybe put a medium on. Would it be possible?
But depends on what sort of time they're going to start the race.
Yep. Okay. Yep. All right. So we'll just we're in standby mode at the moment. And it's never a good time. Everyone's wondering what's going on, but it's also a good time for these riders when they do come back into the pits.
At least they have a couple of laps on the track, so they can come back and give some feedback, how to improve more again.
Absolutely. There's that. We just saw Aslan Shah talking to Fujiwara about what it was that was and wasn't happening for him. But, perhaps if if they needed to make another change here or there. Could be interesting to do. There's the crowd still hanging on, of course. They'll stay here.
Looks like Ito get up from the crash. And yeah, he's got another money, so that's what you hear from the radio.
Oh, so
yeah, so I think there he's walking there.
Yeah, he's just awfully disappointed. Looking at look at those marks on the asphalt, on the bitumen there, where he's had that big high.
This is what happened to Top Paris.
Yes.
Before that lap, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just
the exact same place.
Yep, just trying to get on the gas, just not on the full angle, just more on a 45-degree angle, really.
Then the back just step out and that's it.
Yeah, and he didn't crash it. There's the end of that crash. Looks like he's
hit a head on.
Yeah, he's really lucky to get away with that. Yeah, just
somebody hit him on the head or something.
Yeah, absolutely, really lucky to get away with that. But he's up and about, which is very, very good to see. Which means that we'll be able to get this cleared up pretty quickly, and hopefully get the race back underway. I'm sure that they'll have to shorten it.
Yeah, they're gonna shorten it, and they're gonna do a quick start where the pit exit will open for 1 minute.
Yep.
Then all the riders must go out, but only one mechanic allowed on the grid.
Yep. So will they put tyre warmers and that back on the grid?
You're not allowed, because I think after that you only have maybe like 30 seconds after the bike there. Then they release the bike for warm-up lap.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they do that. But number 76, of course, that is Yuki Ito, goes down the road, and even if he could get back to the pit box, I don't think that he would be able to do anything. I think that if he get back to the pit box and get on a spare bike and go out, Yuki Ito?
No, because on the 600 we don't have spare bike.
Okay, that's a good reason not to do it, isn't it? Okay.
You only have one machine for each rider, not like MotoGP. You have two machines.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's a time limit for the rider to get back to the pits.
Okay. 5
minutes. If you're not there by 5 minutes, you're not allowed to race.
Okay, that's a pretty good rule to have as well.
It looks like they are still cleaning the track.
Yeah, obviously, hopefully no fluid.
No oil on the track.
Yeah, hopefully no fluid escaped from that bike.
It looks like, I think Simon is there.
Yeah, Simon will be out there for sure. From Race Safe Australia, we always have a good team of crew, clean-up crew, out on track to make sure our riders are safe.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's happening. Meanwhile, in the pit boxes, the riders are just sitting there waiting to see what is going to happen next.
I think it looks a bit quite messy, you think?
Yeah, there's definitely could be something down there.
Yeah,
whether it's on the racing line or not, I don't know.
It looks like I'm not sure whether it's a racing line.
Well, the issue I have is that there's that many racing lines into that corner. As we've seen, the guys are all over the place, so they need to make sure that everything's okay.
Yeah, there's Kasma Daniel, who crashed in the first lap.
Yeah. So I wonder if he manages to get out. Will he be able to restart this?
Yeah, I think it depends on the race direction whether to let him race.
Yeah, okay. Well,
so if they race, I think they're gonna start with the new grid, I think.
Yeah, well, that'll be good if they can start with a new grid. So won't be too long, and you can see that the track is being cleared and put back into racing order. So good to see that they cleaned that up pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah, I think not that much oil there.
Rightio. Before we get back to racing, we're going to take a quick 2-minute commercial break. lose. Won't be taking sure get down that straight. Joseph.
What was it?
Can't see that.
Yeah. I reckon that's Brock. Yeah, so from the gravel. Fortunately for we haven't. Hello and welcome back to the Asia Road Racing Championships. We've had a red flag and we are going to have a restart to this race with 9 laps. Of course, we are talking about the 600 SuperSport Championship. We had that red flag. Unfortunately, Yoshiyama went down the road and put a stop to proceedings, which is unfortunate for him because he was our pole man. But the good news is he's up and about, so Yoshiyama is up and about, but it's still a few minutes away until we have a quick restart procedure. Once what that means is that the bikes will get out of the pit box and they'll only be allowed to have one mechanic at the pit box. They'll stop for 30 seconds instead of the 5 minutes that they normally would and put the tyre warmers on, and then we'll get the race underway. So a quick restart procedure, and there'll be a few guys that won't be restarting the race. You can see the marshals out on track side there, just still cleaning up some of the debris that has been spread around the circuit today. The new brooms here at the Tail and Bend circuit getting a good workout. It's good to see too. It means that everyone's having a lot of fun. So there is Joseph Francis, of course, on his machine, and hopefully he can get out. He had some sort of issue, didn't he?
Not sure whether he crashed or the bike got problem.
Yeah, I think that he must have run off or something, but in this quick restart procedure, it looks like to me, if we look at the grid that's in front of us at the moment, he'll be able to start from that second spot on the grid.
That means this is going to be a new race.
A new race,
yeah.
Okay.
This is going to be a new race, 9-lap race. So going to be like the
previously.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got 4 minutes and a half to go until the pit lane opens, which means that all of these riders out there on track now.
Yeah, 5 minutes before the pit exit.
Yeah. Okay. So that's good to see that they've got a little bit of time to prepare themselves again, get the incidents of the last race out of the way. You can see the crowd there looking at the big screen. We've got a big screen here.
Yeah,
and,
you can see
it's made their day.
Yeah.
They didn't think they were going to get on TV. A few more stones here. Glenn Jean, of course, from the flag marshalling here in Australia. I don't know how your flag marshal systems work over there, but in Australia it's all voluntary.
Yeah.
So
Malaysia, the marshal get paid.
Do they? Well, yeah. In Australia, all volunteers.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so it's
voluntary work and all this.
Yeah, they do it for the love of the sport.
Yeah.
Travel around Australia, but of course.
Yes, Yuichi Ui on the computer there. Yuichi Ui.
Yeah, of course. 125 rider.
Yeah.
Here's a bit of a look at the restart there.
Restart.
Yeah, you're still a bit dubious whether that was a jump from the Honda man or not, but a good run down into turn 1. But if I remember rightly, there was a little bit of action there, wasn't there? One of the Kawasaki's went in and bang, took a few of the guys out.
Yeah, Kawasaki took out this
Yeah.
Asma Daniel, and then took out Koyama.
Yeah, but it was the 23 man, of course, who did take the lead, Taiga Harder, and he was thinking things were looking pretty good at that particular point, which they were for him. And it was a great start to the race for him. Tom Taparis was working his way through the pack silently, but the 634 machine, of course, of Tomoyoshi Koyama was being pushed back to the pit box, so not a good start to the race for him. We hope that he can get back out. And that was the crash. It looked like
Patrick Lee.
Okay.
Patrick Lee, I think.
It looks like Patrick Lee went down in that crash.
And Tom
Taparis, he went for a hippie shake ride right there on his way up into third position at that point. But he will take that because he thought third was pretty good. Meanwhile, way out front, Yuki Ito was thinking that he was having things all his own way. The battle was on for the podium positions, and it was the number 27 of Andy Farid who was having a good time of it all there. And meantime, the field were having a battle royale. Yuki Ito, he just went down hard, didn't he? I mean, look at that.
Yeah, really hard, you can see. You know.
Yeah, good news though. He's
okay.
up. He's okay, and he's up. There's Aslan Sharp. Good job for him. He's back out. I'm sure that Fujiwara will be having a few words to him. And man, this has really helped his day out. So hopefully he can get some decent points. There's number 12. That's Brock Pearson, of course, on his machine. And hopefully he'll be able to get back out there. A couple of minutes till the pit lane opens.
2 minutes before it opens.
Gee, they're getting to the pit lane a little bit
too early, I think.
Too early. Yeah. Is that especially when they know that these tyres, these hard tyres, if they go a little bit cold, probably.
Yeah, because you see, the thing is because the pit will open for 1 minute.
Right.
Yeah. Because if you don't go up by that one,
you start from the pit lane.
The pit. You have to start from the pit exit.
Yeah. So you cannot afford.
Yeah, but I think, like you say, 2 minutes is a bit.
There goes.
They should be there by what, 30 seconds before the pit exit open?
Absolutely, yeah. 30 seconds.
30 seconds should be the one, I think. I think 2 minutes is a bit too long.
Yeah.
You know, maybe.
The only good thing they've got is that this track is so long that they've got a bit of time to warm the tyres up.
Yeah.
There goes. Is that Kenneth?
Yeah, Kenneth Cooper, I think.
Yep, heading out, of course. His number 64 machine. And from the MR Racing team as yet.
I don't understand why all the riders go there 2 minutes before.
Well, you know what happens when you've been
you
a rider.
Overheat the engine.
But absolutely, you overheat everything.
Yep.
But when one rider goes,
everybody
goes. Yeah. So we've just had word now. It's definitely a fresh restart with the original grid. So for those people that work their way up through the pack, that was only practice. They're going to have to do it again. But the news is it's a shortened lap in this Asia SuperSports 600 race. 9 laps instead of the 15 that we were starting off with. So
you can see right behind on your screen, all the mechanics came out. They have a quick start. Where all the riders will come and mechanic hold on to the bike.
Yep.
Everything okay, then they'll leave. Then start of the warm-up lap.
Okay, so that means we won't have the 5-minute media grid. Just straight out, 30 seconds.
Once everybody is ready, then they'll give a warm-up lap, then come back, then the race will start.
It must be, as a rider, it must be really difficult when you've just stopped the race and now you've got to go out again.
You got to think again how to get to that position again.
Yeah. And also these Dunlop tyres, I'm not sure if the team sort of had enough time or if they would want to have put new ones on.
I think they're all using the same tyres because I think they only used like 3 laps, isn't it?
Yeah, they only did 3 laps.
3 laps.
Yeah.
So I think all of them still using the same tyre.
Yeah, and unless maybe 1 or 2 of them decided to change the compound, if that was at all possible.
Yeah, possible.
Because obviously that.
I don't see just now they were. But you don't see from here, but you don't hear anything from Dunlop people saying that any teams change tyres.
No.
Yeah. No. I think they're still using the same tyres.
Just saw Kazuki Kurihara on his number 88 machine there, making his way around on the warm-up lap. That looks like Aslan Sharp. Hopefully he can find a little bit of form this time round. I think everybody's got their fingers crossed for him.
Yeah.
If he has a good weekend here.
If you are Fujiwara, what are you going to tell him?
If I was Fujiwara, I'd be telling him, come on, you only need to get, you don't need to win the race, Aslan. You need to get some points. If you get 5 points or 7 points or 10 points, you're going to be leading the championship. So that's what he needs to do. Obviously he's got some sort of issue here, but I think he needs to dig deep.
Yeah, really dig.
So that he can just get a handful of points, because while the other guys are away, it's time for him to, you know, try and take the lead in the championship if he can. But it's easy to say that when you're sitting here, isn't it?
The commentary box.
Or at home on the couch.
Yeah.
You can't understand why they can't go quicker round the corner, or why your favourite rider is not winning. But when you're on that bike out on the track, it's a different story.
You try to push a bit more, then big problem.
Yeah, absolutely. As the grid reforms for this quick restart.
30 seconds.
Yep.
There you go.
Exactly right. Meng Heng got it right again, and that's why we've got him here as our expert.
So, yeah, all the mechanics gotta go in now.
There's a few missing spots out there, isn't there?
I think Koyama's not there, Decha not there.
Okay,
because Decha just now when he came in, the glove, I think he got problem with the hand.
Yeah, and there's also a few that have crashed as well. So now we'll have a warm-up lap, and then after that warm-up lap, it'll be a 9-lap race.
9-lap race, yeah.
Yep. Just
even Ito, Ito not there.
No, because Ito's in the medical centre.
Yeah.
But,
I forgot about Ito.
Yeah, but the good news is if you're watching from Japan, he's fine. We saw him walk and get into the van, so he's in good condition. Hopefully he hasn't injured himself, and he can be back out on track tomorrow. Look at it.
Yeah, Aslan. He's fire up, and he just go for it.
Absolutely. It's what he needs to do.
For the race.
Yeah. Interesting, we saw a couple of the young guns coming through. I didn't notice, was Joseph Francis back out there on the grid?
Yeah, he's there. He's
good.
Grid number 2 there.
Okay, that's good to see him out there.
And then I think Kasma was there.
Okay.
And Francis is there.
A lot of guys have gone down in this race, haven't they? So probably a few won't be able to take their place on the grid.
I think the front 2 rows, they were missing 3 bikes. Ito, Koyama and Decha.
Yeah, Decha Kreisart, of course, with that injured hand. I'm wondering if that'll be better by tomorrow.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like he really, when they take out the gloves just now.
Yeah, fingers are very, very painful.
Sensitive,
They are, yeah. Although Troy Bayliss once injured a finger. Do you know what he did? He said, we'll just chop it off and then I'll be okay. No more pain. So, yeah. But that's something that you and me probably wouldn't want to do.
You're missing a finger.
Brock Pearson as well. Already done a few races in the Asian Road Racing Championship.
Oh, just now. I'm looking at the starting grid.
Yep.
Paris is going to start from 17 again.
Who is?
The Paris.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's well, it took him
You're
about.
wondering from which grid he started just now.
It's going to take. It took him about I don't know what 2 laps, to get into 3rd position. So
we'll see again. See whether he can repeat this.
I wouldn't mind having a look at his onboard camera if he's got one. It'd be pretty exciting, wouldn't it?
See how he goes.
Yeah, he's got to overtake a lot of people to get up there. But meanwhile, as the grid come back round to form up for this 9-lap race. We'll be getting ready for action shortly. And it'll be getting underway with a somewhat smaller field. There'll be a few gaps in the grid, but the action's still going to be pretty hot. There's Tigahara, he was the early leader in the first part of this race.
So that means we got to keep an eye on Francis?
There he is, Francis, yep, he's in 2nd position there, just taking his
spot. Of course, to Paris?
Yep, to Paris in 17th position.
Okay, we'll see how they start again.
As they line up for the start, 9 laps of this shortened race, they're on their way, they're off. Difficult to see who got a good start that time out, but it looked like Tigahara got another good start. Yeah, great. Great start by him. Keep an eye on Tom Taparis coming through the pack as well. Into turn one, it's clean. Kawasaki up this side. Oh, he makes it this time. We've got 1, 2, 3 guys wide, 2 guys wide.
I think that was Kasma Daniel, if I'm not mistaken.
Aslan Shah, it's a much better start from him. That looks like...
no, he's what, third?
Is it? It looks like it.
Yeah,
is that him? Yes, it is. Great. Well, whatever it was that Fujiwara said to him, I think he said the right thing. So he's in a much better position than he was in the first part of this race. So a short 9-lap race, but that doesn't mean we're going to have less action, because one thing we do know about this class, it's action-packed. Rathbone Willerot, of course, in 4th position so far out there. And Andy Farid, is it Art, in 6th?
And Ramdan Rosli, he's Ramdan 2nd. Wow.
Is that
started from? I think Ramdan started from 4th row.
He started from the 4th row of the grid.
Now
wow.
He's 2nd.
He's certainly
right behind Tiger Hada.
Yeah, he's certainly got a great start, hasn't he? And it just goes to show that it doesn't matter where you qualify on this circuit. There's some. It's easy to do. There's Pasawit put it up the rack. Good result for him to be up there as well on his number 123 Honda. But back out front, it's Tiger Hada on the Honda. With Tiger Hada, with of course that looks like Ramadan Rosley just behind him.
Yeah, Ramadan Rosley.
Ramadan Rosley.
He used to race in CEV Moto 2.
We've got a couple of riders down.
Kasma Daniel again.
Kasma Daniel's gone down. Let's just hope that he's okay. He's definitely been winded, but hopefully he can get up. Look at the dust being kicked off. The dust has been kicked up down there, so everything's okay though as they tip into turn 1 again.
I went too deep.
But still, good position. He's got a decent lead on the group behind him, which means he can maintain that 3rd position, and he sits in that 3rd position at the moment. So it's Taiga Hara out front with Ramdan Rosley and Aslan Shah in 3rd, and Andy Farid is Deha in 4th position at the moment as they break in, and Rosley looking for a way through. What do you think about the rider on number 32, Ramdan Rosley? Do you think that he's got the ability to win this?
Very hard to predict on Ramdan, because I don't see any riders after Aslan behind, but he only got 8 laps to go, so it's going to be a very short race. I think chances of getting past Hada will be the problem.
It's going to be very difficult, isn't it? But Aslan Shah looks like a different rider this time.
Yeah, like a different person now.
Yeah, and maybe that's all he needs. Perhaps he just needs to be able to build that confidence up, you know, and if you can get a good result in this race, I reckon that it'll be interesting to see, but I think that it's going to help him out tomorrow.
There you can see Ito there. I think he was explaining how he crashed. I think high side.
Yeah, it's good to see him. He's up and about. He doesn't look too injured. He's got the ice pack there.
On the wrist, I think.
Yeah, so that's not a good sign, but the fact that he's still not in the medical centre is a fantastic sign. So if you're an Ito fan, he's up and about, and hopefully they can get him back out on track tomorrow, patch him up.
It looks like Tiger Hada is having a small gap from Ramdan Rosley there.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to Joseph Francis.
I think he's 5th, I think.
Yeah, he's in 5th. He certainly hasn't had the impact that he had
the first race.
No, he was right up there, but he's not there at the moment. And Tom Taparis
at the moment he's 13.
Yeah, he's on his way forward, but let's have a look at the lap time. 59.2 for Tom Taparis, his best lap of the race. So he's obviously in traffic, or the other guys are going pretty quick at a 58.1 up front. 58, everybody in the 58s in the top 5
like
or 6.
Joseph Francis did the fastest lap, 1:58 flat there.
Yeah, okay, so he's on the move, on the way forward. And
but first of all, he got to overtake Idian Shah and Aslan Shah.
Yeah, probably not as easy as it sounds, is it?
Yeah.
As they head down through this, my favourite.
Oh no! Again, Aslan Shah.
Oh no, that is definitely not what Aslan Shah needed. He's had a big high side. That's the 3rd time we've seen the rear being lost at that point. Oh my goodness.
3 bikes, but the first one was to Paris.
Yeah, to Paris.
Then Ito, then Aslan.
Yeah. So let's hope. Fujiwara, you can feel his heart sink.
Yeah.
Not what he wanted to see. He hasn't seen that. He's still waiting, I think. Let's have a look. He's hard on the gas, full lean over. And bang, no way to save that. It's just all over for him. He's down the road and he's thinking, no. It would have been easy to accept that if he was in 16th position, but he was in third. So let's hope that he hasn't hurt himself. He's holding his wrist a little bit.
Oh,
bit of a limp.
He's big,
yeah, he's having a bit of trouble there, but he's up. So let's hope that he can sort himself out for tomorrow and at least try and salvage something out of this. Meanwhile, back out front, it's Taiga Hara doing the hard work.
Red flag.
Oh,
the red flag out again. Yep. So I think they can't clear the bike in time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I see it there.
Yep, you're right. You're right. So that's another red flag in this SuperSports 600 race.
Yeah, the red flag out.
Wow. Yeah, it's definitely not what we wanted to see, but 3 riders almost crashing in that
same
start. It's really difficult stuff. But what that means is the guys will head back to the pits again, and the teams will be frustrated. There's Byron Draper from Oland's, of course, an Australian who's worked at Oland's in Sweden. Factory Man is also in the Asian pit box there, working away.
Yeah, you can see the Aslan Shah machine still in the middle of the track.
Yeah, they can't leave that there.
They can't clear the bike in time, so I think they have to red flag the race.
Absolutely. Aslan Shah as well is stuck on the side of the track. He's upright, but I think he's got a sore ankle or something, and maybe a wrist. So let's hope that it's nothing too major. He's up.
Looks like the leg, I think.
Yeah, he's walking all right. I mean, after what he's just been through, that's not too bad, is it? You would have been in that.
That's a big hindsight there, just now.
Yeah, you would have been in that situation many times, though. Yeah.
Yeah. About you? What about you?
Yeah, plenty. I know what it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, like this bike, if you hindsight, I mean, I don't like, hindsight is the most, you can fracture your collarbone easily.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's and this early on in the season as well, it's something that you can't really afford to do.
Hindsight is the most. I mean, in racing 2 wheels, hindsight is the most. How to say it? Most dangerous.
It's the
crash
most dangerous one to have, and it can cause the most damage compared to a lay side. I mean, I'm sure you can attest that sometimes when you lose the front, it's no problem. It's
okay, but
a bit of fun.
Hindsight is the one.
Yeah, it can hurt, and
that's the ultimate.
Yeah, and you don't have to break much. I mean, if you just break a small bone in your wrist, it can put an end to your championship hopes. Which let's hope that the Kawasaki rider is okay.
We're still waiting for the officials. See whether they're going to continue, or we're not sure about it at the moment.
Yeah, definitely going to be an interesting time to figure out what they do. Joseph Francis down in 15. So there we go for him. So once again, he's been having a lot of problems, hasn't he?
Joseph come back to what? He's 15?
Yeah, I reckon that he's got an issue with his bike because he pulled into the pits before that accident. So I reckon Joseph Francis has had some sort of incident. Tom Taparis worked his way up to 11th position again, so that was another good result for him.
Yeah.
But what's going on there? What are the?
Don't know the outcome at the moment. I think looks like the mechanic are putting the tire warmers back onto the machine.
Yep. Yeah. There's one of the Musashi machines down there in the pit lane as well.
Yes, Azrai Hakim machine there.
Yeah. And yeah, that's a great idea. Scott Nicholson, of course, in 14th position as well. Aslan Shah out of this one, and unfortunately Brock Pearson out as well. Have you ever seen a race like this before in the Asian Championship?
No, I don't think so. And I think Ramdan is doing well here. You can see the bike now clear the bike and clean up the track now at the moment. So we don't know what's gonna happen for the next few minutes. Either they're gonna continue the race, but you can see all the team members there waiting to know whether are they going to continue the race.
Well, you've got to be prepared for everything, don't you? You really do. I mean, it's 2 times that they've tried to run it now.
Yeah. But only 3 laps. They did only 3 laps. They should done at least 4 or 5 laps. Then you can consider as
a result. Yeah. So I wonder if that means if they do abandon it, then that they won't be able to get any points. So in a way, that works out well for even though Aslan Shah caused the accident in the stoppage. If there's no points awarded, he's sort of if he's okay, he'll be able to race tomorrow.
Yeah, but I mean, for other teams, they will think like, you know, not my fault, but I still want to race.
Let me out there, absolutely.
You know, all the teams definitely will argue for this.
Okay, just official word has come through from the race direction. The race has been abandoned. There's a track safety issue, so the cars are going back out there to clean that track up. There's been a couple of riders that have had an issue in the same spot there. Maybe there's something on the circuit. You can see the 4-wheel drives in the background there, putting their deck chairs away and getting ready to head home and come back tomorrow, of course. But all the teams and officials at the moment are having a chat. What do you think's going on there?
I think the team must have tell the official, hey, we still want to race, you know. It's not our fault, you know, but I think maybe
we've come a long way.
Track safety issue, I think we have to abandon.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's not what anybody wants to see.
Yeah, because already have 3 cases there in the same exact place there where Aslan crashed.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely not what people want to see, but you know, for that reason, I think that you know, they need to address the issue. There must be something on the surface there. So we'll see. Anyway, we are yet to find out what the next step is here at the Tailem Bend.
I think they already abandoned. There you can see the race direction already race abandoned for the track safety issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
I know that Ling is Willing is down in the pit lane, just having a bit of a look around at the moment, see if she can find someone to talk to. So as soon as she finds someone to chat to, someone that wants to commentate about what's going on, we'll head down to her.
Yeah, I think definitely they abandoned this one.
Rightio.
But the only thing is whether all the teams they agree with that.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have to find out. But one thing we can do right now, we'll head down to Wei Ling, and she can try and fill us in and keep us up to date with what the situation is.
Yeah, she's talking to Ratapong Villarod at the moment, I think.
Okay, guys, I'm down here in the... it's okay. He's ready to talk. He just went to grab his cap. But clearly, as you guys can see, the race has been abandoned. So, Ratapong, of course, you just received the news from your team. Share with us when you were out there. How was the track condition?
Now I think the track condition a little bit slip, and also the wind very strong. So we need to like adjust riding style or something when we open the throttle, because some parts a little bit leaks for the sliding.
And as for you out there, you mentioned that you were right behind Aslan when he crashed. So how did you manage to avoid him?
For me, it's like a step by step, not too much pushing, because I see in the front many crash. So we need to step by step and have a good position.
All right, thank you so much, Ratapong. So that is it from me at the paddock. So back to you guys in the studio.
Okay, thank you very much, Wheeling. You've done a fabulous job down there in pit lane. And also you, Meng Heng, I just want to say thank you very much for joining us. Unfortunately, the race has been abandoned, as we can see, which means that our job here today is done at Tail and Bend. But guess what? We will be back tomorrow live with 3 more races of the Asian Road Racing Championship. So make sure you find a TV set, sit down and enjoy. As you've seen today, there's lots of action. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.